All right, here we are with The Veil, Hope Rides Alone, The White Line Nightmare, Episode 1. I am Devin, the Master of Ceremonies, and to my left, we have X playing Y.
Nicole playing Aaron, the
Kev.
attached.
The Attached.
Kevin playing Whis, the Dying.
Peter Azraeli, the apparatus.
And Ian playing James, the Catabalist.
All right, gang, we are here for...
I love how you rush through it so that you don't have to try to pronounce it.
It's a weird word, and I don't like it.
All right, gang, we are here for the first session of Hope Rides Alone. We spent a bunch of time getting the game prepped, we have all the stuff printed out, and today's it. So, I think the first thing, introductions to games are always tricky. So I have a bit of stuff pre-planned, but mostly it's going to be kind of just exploring the characters and kind of fabricating a bit of the, middle part of the world where things will branch out from. So I'm going to start with a player character first to introduce them, and we're going to do kind of brief intros to the characters. So who would like to begin?
This is not me with my hands up, this is me doing my hair.
I'll start. Sure.
Kevin? All right, one moment. All right, and we're back. So, Whis. A new day dawns in the city. You wake up. How do you feel when you wake up? What is your character's morning routine like?
It's probably when he's the sickest. So it's about a half hour of recovery, doing exercises. He's got a small oxygen tank hooked up to a really rough air purifier. So he tends to breathe with that outside of home. Recalibrating his limbs. Just basic preparations.
Where do you live?
Probably, there's like high rises and stuff. That's what most of the housing is
That's
like,
what most
right?
of the city's like. It's nothing but towers and steel and glass and neon signs and screens.
Yeah, it's one of the loft areas. Like one of the very top of one of those buildings.
Penthouse.
A penthouse, yeah.
Is it just you? Do you live with your parents?
He lives with his parents, yeah.
All right. What's the style? How do they decorate it?
It's very a lot of antiques from pre-industrialization of the city. A lot of wooden furniture.
Holy
Kind of
shit.
immaculately polished. Sheets over a lot of it.
What does Whis look like for the listeners?
Whis is very gangly, pale. He always keeps his eyes covered. He has a kind of this neon visor he covers his eyes with. Very faded gray hair. And he's kind of average height, like 5'10". And yeah, just kind of sharp, very sharp features.
Cyberware?
I don't know. Yeah, the big part of him is he has no arms, so he has these two ceramic, cybernetic arms.
Ceramic.
Yeah, they're
Nice.
very tough ceramic, but they're very intricately designed, not very bulky like most cybernetics are.
There are pieces.
Yeah, there are pieces.
Style of clothing?
Clothing. He tends to wear this like ponchos and the like, very kind of loose and airy. Nothing that restricts his chest. Denim jeans, and over top he tends to wear a raincoat, a yellow raincoat.
It does rain a lot.
Yeah.
It's very wet outside a lot of times.
Yeah, and usually he's got an air mask over his mouth simply because breathing outside is difficult.
So do you carry the tank with you, or is it strapped to your hip, or is it
It's strapped to his hip. It's a smaller one.
I was thinking one of those medical trees.
I was like, that's going to be so inconvenient for you.
Does he have any weapons? Any defense sidearms or anything?
Yeah, actually, he has I think it's called a nerve jammer.
A nerve jammer.
A nerve crippler. It's a small hand weapon. Just a small gun. I think he keeps it in a compartment.
Okay. All right. Well, you have woken up for the day and you've gone through your routine.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? Like, what do you do when you're not doing anything pressing, I would say?
Reading, painting. He does a lot of painting. So he probably sits out on the veranda with his mask on and just kind of paints. He paints the landscape of the city, but in a way that doesn't look anything like it. It's more like he's pretending to look out upon what could be, what might be.
Yeah, it's raining out. There's like harsh red and green neon signs everywhere. Because you all have that chip that gives that lets you see the veil. Everything has a green, like bright, contrasted wireframe over it that kind of like slowly progresses outward the more you look out towards the horizon, and then has a draw distance to it. So everything is accented by a wireframe, and like goes around the neon signs and the screens, and like provides like bits of like digital information to it. So like if you're looking at a broadcast that's on, there's like little boxes in the corner that are empty that like information flips in that's relevant to you.
What about, does it go over people or just the buildings?
Oh, people too.
Okay. That's weird. Okay.
Yeah, so everyone has like traced green ray tracer lines going over them.
Probably a lot of advertising and everything like that everywhere you look, or
Not really advertising, just information that's
semi-relevant,
but not really anything that matters. Like, there are no clocks, but there are spaces on walls where like the tracing will trace in and just update with like the time. Or like even if there's a normal clock that's running, it'll just go over top of it and provide a different time.
Why specifically a different time? Is the clock wrong?
Who knows?
What?
But as you're out in the veranda, rain pitter patters. There's that constant thrum from neon tubes that are constantly going, and that fluorescent flicker going off the clouds, and like the little bits of mist that come off of rooftops and shit. A drone flies by. It's like a rotor that has a hemisphere under it with a large green and red eye, like a camera eye, and it's just circling around, like rotating around as the rotor flies by. Little kind of infrared spotlight underneath that, do you have cyber eyes?
No, actually.
Well, with your implant, you can kind of tell that it's giving off a cone of infrared light to, like, enhance the camera vision.
Scan the area.
Yeah.
Business as usual.
Yep. Big face on a screen from the building. You're at the penthouse, so the building across from you that's down from you has like one entire side of it has a giant, 100-foot screen on it made of reinforced glass with a man's face on it talking over the speaker. The sound's piped into your head through your chip, so it's not like a speaker that, booms out into the street.
You just get to hear it no matter where you are.
Well, if you focus your attention onto it, the sound will like pipe in as if you were... Like, if you don't look at it, it doesn't really do that. But if you try to become aware of it, it'll just click onto you.
Okay.
Yeah. Your penthouse has a phone. It rings pretty often. Like there's a series of phones that have like big analog cables coming from the wall into it. They're large kind of almost payphone affairs that there are various servants moving around. They look kind of not disheveled, but they're busy. So it's a lot of those like analog, and then picking it up, taking calls, fielding it, putting the receiver on another, like picking up the receiver and putting it on another hang-up pad so the call will transfer over, like a switchboard almost. It's not in like the main area where you live, but if you're like going through like the lobby or like the common area, there's just activity. There's people in here, usually about 10 to 15 people. A guard or two, just a guy that's in like jeans and an overcoat and has a sidearm and smokes. Everyone smokes.
Absolutely everyone, yeah. So yeah, usually, occasionally he'll go down to the bottom floor and just kind of go for a walk, stretch his legs. He doesn't leave the house or the apartment block unless he really has to because of the air quality. But yeah, just walking around, kind of restless.
Yeah. We'll move then. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
All right. So Ian v. James.
Yep.
New day, James. What do you do when you wake up? What is your morning routine?
So probably wakes up, checks his cyberware, make sure it's all good. He probably lives in like some kind of underground parking garage storage lockery sort of area, like off to the side.
Like a warehousey thing.
It's not really a warehousey thing, but kind of, you know how the underground parkades, they often have those like big storage lockers down there? Like he's probably sectioned off one of those like in a semi-abandoned building so that people don't bother him so much.
It's an old sheriff's office's evidence lockup.
Yeah, sure.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
Long abandoned, established 1812.
Exactly. So he, makes sure nobody's got into his place because he has a bunch of scrap metals and parts and wires and things all strewn about.
So like, certain motherboards, big capacitors
Yeah.
from like industrial batteries, skeletal hands sticking out of like dumpsters.
Yeah, things he's scavenged over the years and he thinks they might be useful, but
Well, you can tell they're useful.
yeah.
You wake up, the batteries that are all hooked into your giant... What does your Omni tool look like?
My Omni
Actually,
tool.
sorry. What does James look like?
Oh, yes. James, very,
the same.
I mean, he's bald, very non-descriptive features, fairly plain, medium build, medium height. Like he's just a very plain-looking person.
How old?
Early 20s, mid 20s-ish. And he's very plain. That's part of the reason why he likes cyberware so much is because
It makes him look cool
it makes him look better.
or distinct.
He was just born a very plain person. He's like, that's, cyberware. Makes
You're a
me look
blank-
better.
you're a
makes me
blank
look cooler,
slate.
Makes me, yeah,
Your blank slate to accessorize on top
exactly. And that's, goes along with his philosophy of wanting, people need cyberware. It makes them better, makes them cooler, makes them stronger, faster, whatever. Yeah, so my Omni tool, it's like it's an arm, for starters. And it's a fairly large, it starts at the, what's this?
of elbow.
Elbow?
Upper
I always
arm.
get shoulder and elbow mixed up. Elbow. Starts at the elbow and goes all the way to his hand. Large, kind of bulky thing with longer fingers than kind of should be.
Like multi-jointed rectangles.
Yeah, like
That
big,
taper.
bulky, several very multi-jointed, 4 or 5 joints on each finger, and then they seem to look like it can pry off and has little wires and different things at the end, so you could plug it into things and parts maybe, or it's almost looks semi-built, and it can detach and then roll around, or the fingers can hold it up and it can walk around.
Do you think the top part has a round part that kind of spins?
Yeah, maybe a little wheel, and so it can either wheel around with the hand kind of sitting on top of the wheel, or it can walk and have the ball be
Well,
an eye.
if it's on the top, kind of almost like a buckler, then it can
Yeah.
attach itself to a ball and kind of move itself up if it's magnetized.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm picturing a mouse tracker ball is what you're thinking of.
Yeah, but if it's a buckler thing, they can just go onto the side of the wall like this and just go tick, 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 like a can opener.
Yeah, I don't.
Also,
it's,
could half an inch and be like a can opener.
it's not magnetic, so it would have to just climb itself up with its hand. But yeah, it can roll around and move on its own.
Does it have lights on it?
Yeah, it probably has small lights on it.
Just blinking lights?
Um,
The things that all things
Yeah.
have.
Stinking thinking.
yeah, just weird colored parts and things. And so yeah, he probably checks over that, makes sure it's still working properly, and kind of reflexes it, and probably takes it off and checks greases it up and cleans
there's
it.
a painter's can with a brush in it, just kind of dip into there, slather it on the joints.
Yep, exactly. Lets it go, kind of takes it off and lets it go check around the area before he goes out. There's probably some vents and stuff in the parkade that he lets it just look through and kind of report back to him almost.
Sorry, what does he wear?
Very just loose clothes, just scraps that he's found around.
So you look like a
Nothing.
bum in a canvas.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Then he probably gets up and he goes and starts scavenging. Goes out and
What do you eat?
I mean, the city provides most things,
It does.
doesn't it? So there's probably places he knows where you can just grab some free food or some free things. that
There are little depots that provide food.
Yeah.
They provide you like bars or like drinks. Like there's a bar that has alcohol.
Yeah, maybe he knows one that's semi nearby that's like semi abandoned, so it's maybe a little bit stale or older stuff, but he just eats it anyway because it's close and there's a lot of people around it. And he's scavenging. He's taking a bunch of stuff and hiding it away. He doesn't want people necessarily knowing where he's eating and where he's living. Yeah.
Anything for defense?
He probably has a few tripwires
I
running.
meant like
around.
on your person. Like
On my person. On my person, I have a bulletproof vest, and I have a kinetic revolver, as well as a close-range jamming transmitter.
Cool.
Yeah, so start out with some pretty neat stuff. And then I also have a few drugs. It doesn't say how many, but I apparently have receptive drugs, so I can take them and boost an ability. Yeah,
You're a junkie.
apparently. Doesn't say how many, but a few.
Transcendent.
Yeah, so that's kind of him.
Where do you? Where does your character scavenge?
He probably has a rough hand-drawn map of the city that he's done it himself, sort of thing. He basically found a piece of paper, put a circle in the center, and then walked out of his house and sort of counted how many steps as he's going, and starts to just draw a map of the city going out from his house, and he tries to scavenge a new area every day unless he finds somewhere that has more things than he can carry in a day.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Fairly strategic that way.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. In the little sheriff's lockup that you live in, like with the kind of cage area and like the underground parking area for like cars that are no longer there.
Yeah.
The overlay for the Veil for the network has like the green tracer lines everywhere. Like the sign that says established 18 whatever is like it is just not there when you look at it because it just covers itself.
Yeah.
And every once in a while when you look at some of the pillars, there's like outlines on the pillars of people. That's fairly common. It glitches out like that kind of all the time down here.
Yeah.
That's so creepy.
Weird part of the city. Just
There's a lot of like lights in here, and like some of the lights have like pillars built into the middle of them that just kind of move around and are looking all over the place. It's just part of the power system.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you get up, you eat, you start going scavenging. Perfect. Who wants to go next?
I can go next.
All right. So we have Nicole, and you are playing Aaron, the
Yes.
attached.
Yes.
What do you do when you wake up? What is your daily routine like?
I probably sleep kind of late because I'm up a lot at night. But once I wake up, I'm going to just say that I stole something last night. So,
What did you steal?
What?
What did you steal? Food.
No, because who the fuck's gonna buy food?
Man, it's
I
fancy.
mean, they don't have to have bought it for you to steal it.
No, but I steal things to like get rid of them for money or whatever.
Alright, what kind of things do you like to steal for money then? What do you think is valuable?
Well, I know people that build and sell cybernetic shit. So
So
That.
metal and like motors and stuff, or like moving bits, or good, clean metal that isn't rusted.
exactly.
Would you like strip the copper wiring out of like a building or something?
Yeah, if that's something that's worth it. I like stealing from people I don't like, or from like the city.
Well, what if there was a screen that it's like it's resistant glass and stuff had been like broken off from like just age? Would you like gut that?
If there aren't too many cameras around.
I mean, it's the city. There are too many cameras around all the time.
Right, yeah.
You'd never be stealing if that was the case.
Yeah, fair enough. So yes.
So you just have the guts of like a magnetron and like whatever they had in the in like the old tube screen.
Yeah.
And like just wires, big thick cables.
So yeah, I'll like lay that out, like separate whatever parts into like the easy to carry, basically. I'll throw that in a sack, and I will.
Where do you live?
I live behind a neon sign. It's like a big red neon sign that's kind of always buzzing, flicking sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
In an apartment. Not a bad apartment, but it's not like, fancy pants over here. It's not really like a central part of the city. Like, it's not like, main populace. Just because I steal things, I don't want to be in the middle of everyone.
So kind of on the outskirts of this city?
Yeah. Not outskirts, but yeah.
Okay. What does Erin look like?
She's a 20-year-old, kind of wiry build, Caucasian. She has short blonde hair, and yeah, she generally wears kind of loose-fitting pants. They're actually not denim, so more like not quite hammer pants, parachute pants. It's not that baggy, but like that style, but a lot less baggy. I don't know what to call that style of pants.
Trip pants.
I don't know, but sure. And yeah, she wears usually like high top, like good running shoes, and yeah, she has a leather jacket. It's kind of her sweet piece. She likes it. It's red. Has like a white racing stripe down the side.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Does she have any weapons for self-defense?
Not built into her, but I mean she has a laser eye.
Yeah, let's talk about her cyber.
Yeah, she has one of her eyes is like around the eye there'd be like basically metal plating, because the way the cyber work looks in this world. Her eye would be red instead of like a normal people eye, and that's a laser eye. It
Yeah,
shoots
it's
lasers.
basically the aperture from a laser disc reader that's been changed.
Yeah.
Laser discs are huge CDs that were used for movies back in the day. They were like this big.
I mean, I've seen. I know.
Okay.
She also, her other cybernetics aren't as noticeable actually. She has, her limbs are magnetic, so her joints and stuff are bulkier than.
So like her arms and legs are cyber?
Yeah. But they are more, like, they're not giant fucking.
They're bulky.
arms.
They're just, analog, rough cyber.
Yeah, exactly.
And they magnetize?
Yes.
So there's like probably like a hum. There's probably a cylinder in each one that makes like a thrumming sound and vibrates because there's a magnetron in there spinning.
I mean, they're supposed to be stealthy, but
Yeah, they are stealthy.
okay.
The whole city's humming and buzzing. So.
Yeah, like, anyway.
Also, she has a storage compartment in
Yeah.
her guts.
Yeah, so you had your guts removed, and you have like a sack, like a Kevlar sack or something?
Only like the non-important bits.
Like liver.
I mean, I don't really need whatever. Just shift shit around. People used to wear corsets. I'm pretty sure I can have a little bit of room in there.
Oh, that's the go-to example every time. It's like, I don't know about this, and you're like telling the doctors, like, people used to wear corsets.
Seriously, people have
Those
all their
whores.
organs functioning basically perfectly fine, and they have like fucking 12-inch waists because they're fucking I have room for a fucking loop sack. It's fine.
So it's not like a metal box, though.
No, because then I wouldn't be able to bend.
Right. So it is probably like a sack of some sort, like a bag made of like Kevlar and other materials that have been plated into it to let you like move and stuff. It'd be really tricky to hide stuff in there because once stuff's in there, you can't like bend over and shit.
Not as much, but
Like, don't put a knife in there.
well, I'm assuming I don't have to worry about stabbing myself.
It's Kevlar.
Yeah,
It's still uncomfortable.
yeah. It's not there for comfort. It's there for fucking swag.
Yeah. Don't hide 3 Noskins by the Domshot table in there. They'll stab you, man.
Just have that thing, poke your guts and stuff,
Yeah, so you have like a bed or like a piece of floor you sleep on, or what in this apartment? It's an apartment, you said, right?
Yep. Yeah, I have a bed. It's a fucking bed.
Yeah, you wake up, it's raining out, the sign did that thing that that neon signs do that have like a circuit board in them where it degaussed overnight, so when you wake up your arm is sticking to like part of the metal of the bed. Like there was like a whoomp.
Beautiful. I'll
Your laser eye head is a bit fuzzy because you gotta recalibrate everything.
God, that's irritating.
Neon signs, they'll give you cancer.
Did not know that.
Not the peaceful kind that Kevin's character's gonna have.
Yeah, it's gonna be real peaceful.
It's gonna be real peaceful. It'll be like, I'm gonna turn into a beautiful Manotaur! Not a butterfly. Like he'll make a cocoon and like hang upside down like King, like the Mushroom King in a Super Mario live action movie, and then he'll hatch out to a Manotaur. Start rampaging around. The Super Mario live action movie is a great example of what the city would kind of look like.
Oh
That city was hideous. Dude, like the cop cars didn't have brakes. They drove around with like electricity rails on them and were hitting like lines over top and sparking everywhere. And like to stop, there were bands everywhere that they would run into that would catch the car. There was like open pipes, and there was like people with like machine gun faces going through the garbage and like scavenging and shit.
Yeah.
That's not a terrible inspiration for just how hideous this city can get.
Yeah.
Oh, the creepy Morty. What do you do when you wake up? Like, what is your routine in the morning?
Well, apparently reprogramming my eye to stop being fuzzy and detaching myself from my bed. But yeah, other than that, taking like inventory of anything I have, what might sell good, who might want to buy what.
There's like pills that your cyberware doctor gave you for your new stuff.
Damn, what kind of pills?
Antibiotics.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna
Things
take
for skin
those.
irritation.
I mean, I'm gonna take those. That would suck. I kind of shine a light in my eye. Kind of, that's what you'd have to basically do to recharge it. So.
Yep. When you get up and look around your apartment, the green overlay for the veil, not only does it like go over your apartment and like the stuff in it, it also does that thing where almost like X-ray vision, it's outlining the sign. So like when you're looking at your apartment, you can kind of see through the walls and see the what the whole sign would say.
Nice. I actually like the humming.
Man,
It's peaceful.
it is peaceful. There's a crackle because it's raining on some of the unguarded parts of it and making a sparking sound. It smells like ozone kind of everywhere.
Nice.
So do you, because you have magnetrons in your limbs, so you always smell like ozone. Like a lightning struck. Whatever lightning is.
Is there no lightning in the city?
The spires go high enough into the atmosphere that lightning strikes their lightning rails.
Fair. Fair.
Not all the towers people live in.
So yeah, I'm going to go to whoever I think would buy this stuff.
Okay. When you head downstairs and like you're leaving across the street is like a few streets down from the you're like on an outside stairway. That's how the apartment has the easy access to where you want to go. That screen you had torn into has been replaced with a brand new one that's thinner.
Nice.
All right. Who wants to go next?
Oh, I think there's only one person left.
I think.
Yeah.
So, Ray, the apparatus.
Just 1 second though.
What?
It was with me though, right?
What was with you? Oh, your object. I'm sorry. I forgot about the object. I forgot.
Okay.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure that we didn't go, and then you're like, oh yeah, and you didn't notice. I'm like, no, I noticed if it wasn't.
So describe to the listeners what your object that you're attached to looks like.
It is humanoid. It's kind of always floating, almost like third-person camera view behind me usually, but it can move around wherever it damn well pleases.
Mhm.
It has gangly, kind of two long limbs, kind of hunched over, and you don't really see its face. It's like almost blacked out or like staticky. Can't quite see it. Yeah, it's very dark in color.
So it's like a person ghost.
Yeah, but like not fleshy looking.
Like a bad hologram.
Almost.
Yeah. When you're looking at it, every once in a while, those ray tracer lines from the veil go over it as well, and like give it like a mesh outline.
Oh, shit. That's actually good to know.
Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the signs and like the screens and the cameras in the area, their indication lights flicker.
It's really cool.
Yeah, all the technology has like a little red or green like little LED light to let you know that it's on. They're always on.
Oh, that means it's real. That also means that any other time I'm seeing fucking outlines of people, they're also real. There's ghosts everywhere in the city.
I mean, how do you know it's real and it's not just you projecting the veil?
Yeah.
No, I was talking in character. This means it's real.
There you go. Yep, so the object is that weird ghost you have,
Yes.
which will definitely come up more. It's just I had forgotten. Your entire character concept revolves around it. And now we have Peter, the apparatus, Ray.
Yep. So, Ray doesn't sleep much really, so I guess...
Do you recharge?
Yeah, recharge. So, thinking like, hey, I could go out at night, scavenge, and just, drag something back early in the morning.
Alright. For this intro, let's say that you're coming off a recharge cycle.
Yep.
Alright. So, everything is black, and then in your internal mind's eye that you have, there's a little green underscore that's blinking. And then the line goes over and says beginning boot cycle, and then the BIOS starts loading. There's a clicking sound that you can hear as your internal sound drivers and mic and audio drivers start clicking on. You can hear like all the different parts of you whirring on and your backup drives and stuff.
Yep.
And there's like it loads your operating system. You get another warning indicator that you can gain every day since you came online.
What's that warning?
Drive space full.
Oh no.
You have 13,000 megabytes out of 13,000 megabytes at capacity.
Oh, I guess I have to expand that capacity at some point.
Yeah. But with a sweet 512 kilobyte RAM system.
Sweet.
1 gigahertz processor warming up. You're getting overheating warnings when it first boots up and then it gradually goes down.
Fast.
And then kind of like a DGOS, the BIOS vision goes away and it's like and your eyes come on.
Yep.
Where do you live?
Well, I live in a garage where I work at. I don't really need much of a living space. Just some place to sit myself while I recharge from the outlet. And then that, everything else is work. So pieces of machinery I've scavenged, worked on. Work in progress. I need to fix up before I can turn it in for something.
Alright, so you're in a garage. What kind of garage is this? Is it like a chop shop for maybe vehicles? Is it a workshop for cyberware?
I think it was just a normal garage for vehicles that normal person would have. It just, hey, it was abandoned in some building, so just...
So it's like a fairly roomy concrete and steel place with holes in the floor with jacks on them. One of the jacks has long since been taken away. There's things hanging from the ceiling for hooks and bringing engine blocks up.
Yep.
Tool racks, tool chests and stuff.
Yep. Pretty much all that.
A part of the wall's been torn open to get to the power grid because the outlets weren't quite right, and someone, I guess with your help, they've put brass and copper fittings on it, and the outlet you use to charge is like a big circle that has a ground under it, and your own kind of cable you've set up for it that just goes right to your torso.
Yeah.
You get an indicator that says that your dual lithium-ion batteries have fully charged.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. Yeah, so, in the morning I just work on my stuff, I guess.
What does Ray look like?
Well, Ray is a plasticky looking apparatus. It's all white plastic skin. Has just a trench coat on itself and not much else, because still get used to the whole being alive and humanity stuff. So
what kind of articulation does Ray have? Do you have a face with moving parts?
yeah, I do have a face with moving parts. Most of his body is plated plastic, so they move somewhat naturally, but it won't pass for a human. So it does have a face that moves up and down.
Kind of like Nick Valentine.
Yeah, something like that.
You look completely different from every other machine in the city, by the way.
Yeah.
Every other machine in the city is a Terminator endoskeleton with a face that's just a steel, unchanging face that has a blank expression on it with two big white eyes and is basically bald. And they all wear kind of the same clothes. They wear clothes. Jeans, a canvas shirt, and like a jacket over top, and gloves, and boots, like military jack-booted thug boots. And they just move around the city in broad daylight like that. You look like a thing that has intelligence behind its actual eyes.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's see.
What kind of defense do you have? What kind of weapons does your character have?
Well, I just have a built-in laser gun, and
Just a built-in laser gun.
Laser. Yeah, that's the gear I have for just weapons. I don't have any other normal gear, just cybernetics and that.
What does that look like when you're using it? Like you have like a normal hand, but what does it look like when you're firing a laser?
Is it in your hand or is it in your
I think it's in my hands. I point it and laser shoots out of it.
It's pretty micro. There's a lot of micronization in that.
Yeah, I'm a project.
When you fire, what kind of tags does the laser have?
Far, infinite, plus harm, high powered, and automatic.
What does infinite mean?
Infinite ammo.
Infinite ammo.
Yeah, when you fire that, none of your batteries lose charge.
Yeah.
Like in your little heads-up display you have, there's no drop in your charge.
Yeah.
Probably charges from ambient like light or whatever.
Maybe. Or maybe he
Little
should
uranium
get
reactor.
himself a saw and start drilling. Get that golden goose.
Had those batteries to myself.
Yeah, your heads-up display is the same as everyone else's in that it has that green ray tracer that goes everything. It looks like it's not built for your eyes. Like, your eyes already have a heads-up. Like, you have a Terminator vision that's normal, but also has that slight red overlay that gives you information and, like, highlights things. But over that, intrusively, is that kind of green grid that kind of maps, texture maps over everything and, like, changes what clocks say and, like, gives you audio and pipes information from other people into your head.
Cool.
The veil isn't good for instant communication in that if you want to send a message, you have to record an entire message and then send it, and then it sends the message at the same length of the message to a nearby routing place and sends it again. There's no compression. Compression doesn't exist.
Okay.
So it's not really good for two-way communication because it takes as long as it takes to say the thing to get to a person, depending on how many junctions it goes through. But things from the city happen instantly, real time.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I guess for my character, when each session starts, I roll and start figuring out my birth questions. And
Yes.
so we rolled, I failed, therefore I ask you a question, you answer.
Yeah, as part of the playbook of the apparatus, one of the things is the amnesic bits, where Peter's character, Ray, doesn't know where it came from. So it's a lot of asking questions and figuring that out. So yeah, what is the question you'd like to ask me that I will answer?
Is anyone aware I'm operational right now?
Let me... No one is aware that you're alive or active.
Okay.
Like, the asterisk to that is other than, like, the players and people he interacts with, but, like, his creator or things that would care about him don't.
Yeah.
You are completely under the radar.
I like how you say things that would care about him, because the other players don't care about him.
Oh, Jesus Christ. If we've learned one thing from these games, it's that none of you people care about each other.
Well, that's
But, like, you walk down the street and the cameras follow you, but don't pay you any special need. Other machines, like those steel-plated, expressionless faces will walk through and look at you and then just keep going.
Yeah.
Nothing pays attention to you.
Okay.
You've seen other things. You've seen the city pay attention to things much less intrusive than you, though. Like, one time a guy was smoking and put a cigarette out, and it hit one of the robots, and the robot started to follow him and pulled him into an alley, and you never saw him again.
Okay. Oh, good to know.
Don't flick your smokes at things.
Yeah.
It just happened like the wind caught it.
Yep.
And it just looked down and then started to follow him, and he was gone. One time, two
Littering is
people.
bad.
One
I was
time,
gonna say.
one time, a group of people were drinking and yelling at each other, and a drone came by, and the drone stopped to look at them, but didn't stop to look at you.
Oh, yeah. I don't know whether I'm just blending in with all the other robots or something else.
I mean, you're clearly not blending in. Nothing looks like you.
Well, for the city. Well, we'll see.
Oh, everyone who's alive has a barcode that's like printed on you at birth. What are your barcodes?
Mine is...
Because it's not uniform. The city just puts it anywhere.
Do you need to present it ever?
Oh yeah, all the time. The city will ask you for papers.
Okay.
Just all the fucking time. Like, for Whis, a couple months ago, you guys were just in your house, your parents and you and your staff, and one of those machines took the elevator into the penthouse and cornered one of your bodyguards and told him to present his ID, and he had changed out his arm and never got a new barcode, and it took him away. And no one stopped it.
No?
Never seen or heard from again.
Wiss's parents know that you just let it happen. It's cheaper just to buy a new bodyguard. Wiss's is on the back of his neck.
I was literally in my head just thinking the back of your neck.
They were like,
it's
oh,
the classic place.
there's
I know.
no arms. Well,
A lot of people have it like right over their forehead, like over the right, like over like the right side of their forehead or stuff. A lot of people have it like on their stomach. Some people have it on the back of their like lower back and stuff. Like they're printed wherever, not in normal places, like their sides or just like on an elbow or something. A place would be inconvenient to like pull your sleeve down if you're being questioned.
so if you lose like your limb with that on, you just go and get a new one.
Oh yeah, you just go and they'll re-tattoo you.
Do you have to bring the limb with you?
No, they'll just re-tattoo you.
So you just gotta really hope that you don't get like searched along the way. And you're like, I was just going there to do it, and they're like, no, it doesn't matter.
You're like, I'm literally bleeding out.
Well, they may preemptively have a couple tattoos, and
Like they're just a booth, kind of like a phone booth, and you just sit down on a little bench, and it just uses a laser to re-tattoo you.
How does it know what to do?
No one ever said the tattoo means anything.
People probably read
Look on Nicole's face. What, do you think it's their SIN number or something?
Yes, that's why I was going to have another one.
You can give it a try.
I'm going to.
People probably repurpose those all the time for actual tattoos. Actually, that seems. When it gets thrown out, you take the needle and stuff like that, and yeah.
As long as it's readable, like it has to read. If I don't know, have you ever been interested in it, Ray? The barcodes?
well, not yet.
All right. What about you?
James probably has it just under his chin or something.
Yeah.
It's in an abstract, like, you don't normally see it, but if he gets cornered, he just, like, like, looks up and is like, you can scan it.
Have you ever checked what they mean?
Probably hasn't paid too much attention to it. He knows that...
I would have, just to point this out.
Sometimes the values are like 0.99, or sometimes the values are like 1, or sometimes the values represented are 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Like with like intent for the extra zeros. They're just numbers. But like there's no pattern to them.
Huh.
There's no rhyme or reason.
Huh. Because I assumed it was like an ID. So like
Most people do.
my actual one, when I moved, here to escape, I probably got another one done, so that it wouldn't think I was me.
The number doesn't matter. The fact that you think it matters is what's.
Yeah, that sounds like
Did you
it.
present your ID when asked?
Yeah, but like
A good, like the man in the tower, the face in the screens. Our way of life is threatened. Please present your ID when asked. We need to know that we're safe and there aren't any threats out there.
Take your joy.
There are any outsiders.
A friendly face is a familiar face.
Yeah.
We Happy Few is another really good example of this kind of dystopian.
Like, we haven't gone
future.
full Logan's Run with a bunch of asshole actors in the 70s screaming at the fucking microphone, but the movie's a little bad. It's pretty bad. But it's not a great place to live.
We're not screaming at the microphone every game.
Have you seen Logan's Run recently?
Yes, I have.
It's rough, man.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like the acting and the dialogue and like the what do they call it? The spectacle of carnival and shit and the overacting is It's hard. It's like a well done steak. You just kind of gotta chew your way through to the good parts.
It's weird because movies in that era were usually really soft spoken.
But it's all like music's blaring, and like,
It's really uncomfortable. I think that's the whole purpose though.
yeah. But yeah, okay. So under your chin,
Back of neck.
back of your neck. Where's your barcode? Where's your ID?
So like, I think my original one, I'm gonna say was like,
On your eyeball.
I'm gonna say it was like it was like an ankle tattoo.
Okay.
And I got another one. I keep that one covered. But I have another one, and it's like on my forearm.
You have robot.
I'm not gonna
arms.
say it's on my forearm. It's on my, well, I don't know if robot arms. It's like joints, basically.
Oh, like your limbs are real? You just have metal rammed into them?
Basically, yeah.
They're not replacement limbs?
No, they're not replacement.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Like
Additions.
they're. I mean,
So someone sat down, cut out your elbow joints, and put in robot elbow joints, and like gloved it into your forearm and upper arm.
Was that the surge? Was it?
Yep, in a terrifying kind of way.
It was like a week between when they took them out and when they replaced them. So you're just walking around, your arms were flapping everywhere with no elbows.
Pretty much the surge, I guess.
All right, so you have it. It's on your arm.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Mine's on my hand.
You don't have one.
No. Oh.
You weren't born with one, and no one asks you, and no one cares.
Okay.
No one knows.
Well, like when people go get food and stuff, like the camera, like you get the idea that the cameras with their infrared and like their field of vision, like do a little like if you look at someone with your eyes with the veil, it'll like do a little like highlight box around a tattoo and just like it makes like almost a scanner sound in the back of your head.
Yeah, to be clear, I could probably cut out my ankle one, my original one, cut it off.
That's fair.
Yeah. And also, I don't want to have it on my arm. I don't want to have it on my forearm. That's uncomfortable.
Yeah, where do you want it then?
So I'm gonna have it like right here.
Under your ear, on your neck?
Yeah.
Because the listeners can't see where it is.
Yeah.
For the listeners.
Wait, the
right
listeners
here.
can't see us?
Stupid listeners.
I'm picturing the scene when Bart and Homer let their stomachs out.
Just I mean, I've been wearing pants this whole time for...
Fucking lord.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so yeah, it is a rainy day, and people are going about their business. The streets, the city holds a lot of people, but the streets are usually not that full. And it's a street that can hold cars. The streets were designed with the idea of horse carriages, and as the city got bigger and went up and out, it never stopped with that design. But most days, not that populated. Most people keep to underground or the walkways. You know, the city is on the main level of like the ground. The ground's been paved over with concrete and steel. It goes up like hundreds of stories. It goes down maybe 30, 50 stories in some of the buildings. There's complexes and factories and refineries and large train stations that like span canyons across individual spokes on the city wheel, because like you have the main one in the middle, and then there's like satellite cities, and they all connect with trains. Big trains that are as wide as 5 trains, and just take these huge tubed monorail tracks to other ones to like load up on cargo and people. So there's always a sound of like basically like monorails running, that buzz and hum from a levy train, because they're levitating magnetic trains. They all have neon on them and like signage and like screens and stuff. So when they're going by and you're watching them, it's basically like a flip book.
Nice.
Yeah, which has like depth to it because it's like ray traced. All right, well that's introductions to the characters then. We've already gone through beliefs and stuff in the last session, so let's should be up on the up in that. So I guess it's time to move forward with that. Now we've got the intros done. Plot, just the game. I'm just gonna offload this file, and we're back. You guys had a question about food, Kevin. What was that?
Just where does the city get its food, and what does the food is comprised of?
So there are restaurants that are run by people, like food places that people can just go to and get food because there's not really currency. And when those places start running, cars or trucks full of materials will show up from the city and be dropped off. And the preservation technology isn't really great, so it's like old, big tin and lead cans full of like stuff that's been canned. What? like the kind of dirty metals.
I know.
Like
I was
pig
just
iron
gonna
and
say
stuff.
this fucking bitch ass town was founded in the 1800s. They don't know anything about anything,
Aluminum
Asbestos
cookware.
lining.
right?
Oh, there's asbestos everywhere.
God,
So
You
good
guys
for
have
you.
so much cancer.
Yeah.
But like, big flat packs of like some sort of meat product that's been poured into a mold. So like little rectangles of like breaded meat. They know it as meat. Like people are like, yeah, it's chicken. What's chicken? Chicken is what this tastes like.
Yep.
This is beef. They don't know from the animal. There's a lot of like bean and legume based stuff and like big like packed cans of like liquid gruels and soups and stuff that have spices in them, but it's like salt and pepper. And like, thick oatmeal based type gruels that you can just have. And there's also like automated places. Like you can go to like vending machines. Like there's vending machines that just have this stuff in it, and it doesn't last very long because you can refrigerate stuff, but you only refrigerate stuff so long before it goes rotten.
Yeah.
Well, there's food. There's food for everyone.
So I can picture salt being easy to get because it's just there's an ocean.
Where?
Dredge up the salt.
What's an ocean?
You know that big toxic puddle to the left of the city.
Yeah, there are oceans, fields, that kind of stuff. Like Nicole was saying before she left, her character's never seen a plant, and really neither of you guys.
Probably haven't seen many animals.
There aren't any animals.
Yeah.
There are people. So, if the rich are looking for a different kind of food, also just standard, post-apocalyptic gritty stuff like human breast milk exists, so people still know how to make cheese.
Yeah.
They also know what kuru is, so they're like, yeah, we're not gonna. It's what you get when you eat human
Brain tissue.
brain tissue, which kills you. It kills you dead.
Yeah, don't get kuru.
Don't eat human brains.
Good to know.
Didn't.
I'm not saying every rich person is cannibal. I'm just saying, though, if you want long pig.
That sweet, sweet bacon.
Yeah, the meat stuff is chicken and beef. No pork. And like there's beer, like the robot, like the trucks that have like that are automated and stuff will drop off like cases and cases and cases of beer.
Is there a drinking age?
Who'd enforce it?
Who would enforce it? No one.
The robots?
Nope.
Huh.
Cigarettes, booze, heroin, it's just around.
Why are all these drunk toddlers everywhere?
Also,
And there's no labels on anything, like it's just a brown glass bottle with a cap on it. It's just a brown envelope package that has some cigarettes in it and foil. Metal lighters with kerosene in it with a striker plate.
and it's like growing up here, you wouldn't even know the beer comes from grains, so you wouldn't know
No.
they must have fucking fields of it somewhere,
No.
Hops.
right?
It's just beer. When you're done with the bottle, you throw it on the ground.
It's the funnest part.
Yeah.
It's a makeshift weapon.
And that is true. It's not the breakaway glass. It's the type of glass where you're going to stab someone. You're going to drive it directly into their occipital eye socket part. The orbis or whatever it's called. But yeah, food just comes from the city. Like people are like, we need food, and the city's like, here is food. And it'll just come by the truckload, or they'll just be like vending machines, or there'll be, like a phone booth with a nozzle in it, and you can just put like a bottle or a can under it. And, like the cans are like all the metal that's provided in the glass is like impure. Like the glass is like cloudy. It has like impurities in it. Obviously, there's grit. The soup has like little metal balls in it, like that just come from the manufacturing process. The metal is like pig iron and lead.
Oh no.
Aluminum cookware. People make it out of like hubcaps and like melted down parts of engine blocks and broken bits of screen and technology. A drone that crashed into a power line, which are everywhere. You just tear the aluminum plating out of it and turn it into a wok.
Yeah.
People use machine oil. They clarify it and use it for cooking. There's also spirits. Like some of the machines, like some of the drones you can find. Like there's walkers. They look kind of like a tortoise shell that have like little feet that kind of walk around. They're like construction colored, like yellow and black, and have like the little triangles on them. You can, if you find a cache of those, you can flip them over and crack them open, and there's the equivalent of grain alcohol, and they have little combustion engines they run off of with like pistons and stuff.
You said they're spirits. I thought you were talking ghosts.
No, spirits like grain alcohol and vodka, like a combustible thing.
Vodka is
What?
a grain alcohol.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm aware.
What?
Yeah.
Vodka's made from potatoes. That's not a grain.
Can be made from pretty much anything. I guess.
A potato's just a giant bean, Nicole. God, you're dumb. The look on your face. The seething.
Oh, Nicole.
But yeah, they have little internal combustion engines that like push pistons and like the explosion and the air content. You just flip them over on their back, take a knife, puncture the rubber seals around the inside of their shell, and peel out that fuel. No one knows what they do. They just walk around and stop people from crossing areas, or they'll just walk around a building so people don't go near it.
That's nice of them.
There's drones everywhere. This place is crawling with robots, and they all have those red or green tracer eyes on them, like the little like cameras.
Okay.
Shit, that's what people feed off or get supplies from.
Yep.
If you can find an old factory, it usually has a tank full of kerosene or oil or gasoline. Like, there's still gas stations. There aren't any cars. But there are gas stations, automated pumps that have reservoirs of gasoline in them that haven't expired, so they're being refilled.
You just combine those with those unbreakable glass bottles you have, and you stuff a little rag in. You're all good to go.
That's crazy talk. No one would do that. Crime's illegal, fucko.
Very illegal.
Yes, that means we better not do it.
Don't you do it.
That's
Oh, my bones!
My bones! Yeah, a lot of people have just general ignorance of what we would know about the world. Like, people don't know not to drink gasoline from experience. They're like, hey, this stuff comes out of robots and it's good to drink. I'm going to drink this. I'm blind now. It was antifreeze. Winters still happen. They get cold. Winters usually happen not on a schedule, but when the clouds get thick enough that the sun stops coming up for a while, and everything just gets super cold. And the parts of the city that are reliable have pipes and stuff that heat up really hot and just radiate heat. Like, there are radiators everywhere. Sometimes they're really old and haven't been repaired in a while, and like the cap will blow off of them, and people will get hit by scalding water.
It's a good way to get the rats out from the sewers. Gather them
What
all
rats?
in places so you can take an inventory. I meant humans.
Filthy.
Have to come out from hiding and
Find a
come
heat
out into the
source.
light.
Find a heat source to huddle up to.
Good way to take inventory.
Yeah, Kevin's parents, Lucy's parents have like wooden furniture, and people are like, "What's wood?"
They're just fucking ancient antiques.
Yeah.
Or they're knockoffs.
What's wood? You don't know. Some restaurants have it, like cork boards. What's cork? Same thing with religion. We were talking before the break, and we're like, hey, this is a world where World War I and II never happened. This is also a world where there probably aren't a lot of other places in the world. So nothing happened.
Australia's still there. They didn't even notice anything went wrong, so they're just...
They're fine.
History stopped.
There sure is a lot of crime here.
But, people reference stuff like, they'll be like, God damn it. And it's like, what's a god? Jesus Christ. Who's Jesus Christ? Just a guy people don't like.
Him and his 12 buds were just assholes.
Swear to God. Who? Fuck that guy. Yeah, that's just ignorance. General ignorance. Yeah, that's food. That's kind of, things people imbibe and stuff. There's just cigarettes. Just a thing. It even has like a little yellow filter on it and stuff, and like has like stuff you burn on it. So people just know to burn things to get.
Surprising that it has a filter.
Yeah.
It's really surprising.
Progressive.
I don't think they had those in the 1800s. So that's a newer thing.
No, they get tobacco and put it in a thing and roll it themselves. This is pre-packaged for you.
Oh shit! I can only imagine what tobacco's made out of.
Tobacco.
Tobacco.
It's just asbestos. That's all it is. You're just rolling up asbestos.
Not no.
Like, yeah, that's getting me high. I can feel that
I mean, my
cancer.
character is a smoker.
Everyone's a smoker.
No, I'm not. I have a specific thing about not liking
You
to
have a
not
lung
breathe.
problem.
I don't do that.
Oh, my lungs hurt. I need to smoke. Ah, that's better.
All right. So I think we will begin with Ray and James.
And
Yes,
you
you
do
are.
go by Ray, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
When people are saying Ray, they're probably not thinking of the name. Most of them are just saying like Ray Tracer. They're like, yeah, Ray. That's what they're associated with.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, radium, the thing that's in most of these tube tech.
Yep. Okay, so I guess I could be dragging some, recycled, piece of machining towards your.
There's a forklift. It has caterpillar tracks, and you found it under a collapsed building that was torn down when they put up a new tower.
Cool.
So it's like a one-man vehicle that's all yellow and black. It has stripes on it and triangles, and it had caterpillar tracks, had two little prongs in the front, and it was just on its side. Its engine has long since been ripped out. There's hoses coming out of it and pneumatics that have just been torn out, but the frame's still there, the bones of it.
Nice.
Cool.
You're dragging it towards my place, I guess.
It's just making a screeching sound against the concrete outside, and this is good concrete, not new fucking American cities where they can't be bothered to upkeep shit and use asphalt. This is concrete. It is doing fine.
Yeah. I'll probably be out and about, just in front of the house. Probably hear it and look over. Walk over. Oh, hi, Ray.
Hi, James.
And just kind of looking over the forklift. Interesting. Very cool. Could use this for so many things. Just starts pulling apart different things and looking at all the gears and trying to see what's useful, what's broken, what's damaged, or what's still working.
I guess I also crouch over there and start pointing out things that might still be working and not.
Yeah.
It has a label on the side of it that's been scraped off from the paint being all damaged and stuff, and the only word left on it is the last word that just says system.
Yeah. Cool. No, I'll probably get your help to drag it into the building and then start tearing it apart slowly.
Yeah, I guess that's how we start.
Yeah, you guys have power tools and whatnot. You can start hacking into it and just get into the whatever's inside. It has wiring. It's fairly sophisticated as far as a golf cart goes, essentially.
I'll probably take a few parts and kind of put it off to the side in my own pile, and then start making another pile and be like, we should really bring this to yeah, we should probably bring this to these to WIS later and see if we can make a bit of cred or anything.
If you say so.
Okay. So
Isaac and Al.
Other intimacy
Yeah.
moments?
Isaac.
Specials?
ELLE for that.
Yeah.
The front of it, just above the forklift prongs, actually has a glass case that's covered with a little grid. It looks like it might be a spotlight. If you guys run power through, the battery should be. It turns on briefly, and the spotlight kind of moves like it's an eye, like a camera.
oh,
Cool.
I'll probably disconnect that and pop that off and put it in the pile
Just
of
pull that out.
put it in the pile of selling to WIS with his parents and
There's a hard drive inside. It's about probably the size of your fist. It two thick platters suspended in a see-through glass and metal cage.
I guess I can take that and then plug myself into it and see what's in it.
It's a pretty big hard drive for this kind of machinery. 128 kilobytes.
Cool.
It is full of what's the word I'm looking for? Not a black box, but an operation log. Mostly it's just dumping out Cartesian coordinates of where it's going and it engaging and disengaging various drivers for its system. So like lifting stuff, putting stuff down, moving forward, moving back, recharging.
Cool. You know what? I'm going to use scrounge.
All right, it's rolling time.
Dun,
So,
dun, dun.
describe what scrounge is.
So scrounge is I can search for something useful to me. Tell the MC what you're looking for, and if things like that are around, there's a chance I can take it, and it can be used to make junkware.
Okay, so these are 4 words on the junkware roll you're basically going to get if you succeed.
Yeah. So I'm scrounging because this is a forklift. So I'm gonna be scrounging for a hydraulic press or something.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Okay.
You know,
See if it's intact then. So you're going to roll. So what emotion are you rolling for?
I'm pretty excited. I mean, this is a good-looking forklift. So
You've never seen something like this
Yeah, no,
before.
I haven't seen something this good quality, this heavy type of machinery.
It's at least 100 years old.
James is getting kind of excited looking at this thing.
You're gonna tear it apart though?
Oh yeah.
Because this is really useful for your scrounging business that you're not a business of, but...
Well, it's already missing prime parts of it already.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
never
yeah,
mind,
no,
never mind.
no,
I
no.
didn't realize
Like
it
the
was...
engine block's been torn out of the side of it.
Yeah.
Never
No,
mind.
he's very excited to because he's thinking of getting a nice hydraulic press to either make some kind of piston
Something
gun
metal.
or some kind of extending arm or even legs that can move faster if he can find a few of these presses. So he's pretty excited here. So I'm gonna
Like
say
a claw arm, which is
yeah, some kind of. I mean,
Things.
there's a lot of things you can use a good hydraulic press for. So.
When a roll calls for you to roll plus Omni tool, add +1 to the roll. So emotional state +1. So what emotion are you
Emotion is
supposed to-
joyful.
All right, fill in a little emotion state.
Do.
And roll 2d6 +3.
Ooh, that was a
Snake eyes.
terrible roll.
So,
Oh, fail. So I just get nothing. Just plain and simple. Maybe it's damaged
You get-
severely. I go
Yeah.
to pull it apart.
When,
and
when you come to take it out, and you it's a hydraulic press, right? So it
Yeah.
has a fluid thing.
yeah, maybe I puncture
The
it.
fluid inside has actually rotted out the surrounding gaskets and metal, and it's basically just a collection of metal at this point. Anything that would have made it useful is long gone.
That's fair. It's sad now. Just kind of slowly, James continues to pull the rest of the stuff apart, and he's just kind of
That's what you get for feeling good about yourself.
how does that make you feel, James?
very sad. Yeah.
All right.
What is this sad you're talking about?
Sad. It was so. He's holding up the hydraulic press. It was so beautiful, and it's broken. Why? Would have been so useful. Anyway, we should start. There's nothing else good in here. He starts gathering up the stuff in a big bag or a wheelbarrow almost. And we should start heading over to Witz's place. Sell all of this
All
before
right.
it gets too dark.
How are you gonna get there? It's a fair distance away from where you are. It's in the good part of this city.
As I say, he probably has a really shitty wheelbarrow wagon type deal that he's just pulling, and probably uses the train system.
All right. Yeah. Sorry. The train comes. You're just gonna load it onto there.
Yeah.
It's big. It goes around the city and to other cities.
Also, since we're doing this whole disassembly and James got the emotional, would I be able to use my apparatus special when I'm sharing a moment of intimacy with someone, either physical or emotional? I can roll and ask some questions about humanity. Would that be
Yeah.
a moment
I
of
consider
intimacy?
that a moment of intimacy.
It doesn't. Yeah, like, do you feel like this is a moment of issue between you and James?
Well, I think
He brought me a pretty cool thing, and like that's
well, he
kind
got
of
very emotional on it while
Yeah.
we were working on it, so
yeah. He probably would get very
Then roll without any mistake, and we'll see where we go from there.
6, so that's a miss.
Nothing happens.
Okay.
Just didn't connect.
You haven't unlocked sadness yet, so that's why.
Nope.
What happens if you have a miss though?
Nothing. Basically, if I get a hit, I get to ask him a question
Okay.
and so on.
For mine, on a miss something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, and also this wouldn't trigger yet Abyss stares back because that's not learning as much about humanity. So yeah, I guess let's
Yeah.
continue.
Okay. So we're, I guess, on the train, and
The train is large. It's 5 normal trains wide. It's full of people. There's like 60, 70 people in this one compartment you're in. There's scrap in here. There's people that are like, just kind of rowdy and like hangy with each other. There's a dude with a guitar and an amp that's just been put together from like just twisted wires and broken bits of drone. And he's just playing music and not paying attention to anyone. Everyone's smoking. The air is thick with asbestos. Asbestos and other oils.
I think I just stand by the side somewhere where I find some standing spot.
There's a kid. She looks like she's maybe 4 or 5. She's wearing like a vest and like slacks and stuff, and she has that kind of sallow-eyed look most children have. She has a cigarette in her mouth, and she's just kind of looking at you, transfixed. Because you're such a weirdo.
see, Ray, they all you're amazing. You're like true machine. This is what humans need to become. We need to become better.
Everyone kind of gives a wide berth to the door. One of the normal machines walks in with its steel face and white eyes.
See, you're the upgraded model. You're the newer version. You're even what the machines are aspiring to be. The humans will aspire to be me once I finish my work. The machines can aspire to be you.
Ray just soaks it in. Yeah, I guess that's how the world works.
Nope.
Yeah, I think that's us.
Alright, after some time, you guys end up at Wiss's place. The streets here are not better kept because there's not really a lot of debris around. After a certain amount of time, lots of the stages end up being cleaned up, just on different staggered timescales. But it's fairly cleaned up here. The towers are tightly packed together in a more organic way. It looks like they were built with more kind of purpose behind them. And they reach up. They have kind of a staggered height level to them that gradually gets larger in the center. Everything's lined with neons and signs. The man from the tower, that face, is watching you as you're walking by at eye level. He's just talking to no one and everyone, all in sync at the same time.
What are they talking about?
This city is a city of hope and prosperity. Progress always marches forward, and progress together will bring us into a new dawn. This future is a future we've earned together through our sacrifices.
Yeah. Ray just buys into all of that.
We are the privileged few to live in to live in a future of such comfort and human dignity.
Yep.
Yep. No. James just keeps pulling his little wagon.
Pulling that wheelbarrow full of scrap.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tower that Wiss's parents live in with the penthouse, it has a large parkade for the main floor that just opens up into the street. There are people mulling about, not as many as in other buildings. Even a few like motorcycles just in stalls that people are working on or cleaning up. The center of the building has a large, what looks like service elevator, with a lattice grating over it. No one's really paying attention to you guys.
Yeah, we'll probably just head into the elevator and head up to probably not the penthouse. I'm sure they have like work floors or something, maybe, and head up to one of the floors we know where they deposit stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, Whis, you are told that your associates are here, the freelancers.
Okay. Okay. So the room Whis works in is, you know, in pawn shops in like more crimey cities, there's pretty much a cage that the workers are in. That's essentially what the office he works in is like. It's got shelves on either side, deposit boxes, a lot of deposit boxes, and yeah. Whis works on the other side of that.
Okay. There's a guy behind the counter, and he is trying to not sell, but he's trying to barter with you.
Okay. What's he offering?
He has one of those tortoise drones, and he's showing it to you like it's been repainted. It's like black and red, and the legs have been like refurbished and stuff. And he's changed out the engine for the batteries that a lot of the other technology uses.
Are those kind of like commonplace? Did he just paint this up to make it look more expensive?
Nah, I found it. I salvaged it.
Okay, so the paint, that wasn't your job then?
No, I found it.
No? I'm gonna look for... Do they have serial numbers or anything like that? Or,
They have markings and numbers on them, but it doesn't really mean anything.
Okay.
That eye is moving around on the underside of it.
Is this something that happens a lot? People will just bring in drones? Like, how legal is it to have these?
I mean, nothing's really legal.
Mm.
Everything's illegal. Crime is illegal, fucko. But it looks like this is something that someone put together from parts. It's rarer. It's not as common as you'd expect.
So it's just because it has a better energy system and engine and blades.
So probably what you'd be looking for is like maybe the tags to the people that made it. Say, oh, this is mine. You know, do not steal.
Yeah, is there any, like, trademark of someone in the city who works with this kind of thing? Someone who would paint it?
Gang tags.
Not really. It's just it looks like someone made this.
Analyze. Could I use analyze on this?
So I think how it works is you don't call it a move you're using. You say what you want to do, which is what you've been doing basically.
Yeah.
Now that we're getting familiar with it, and then that matches up to a move.
Oh, okay.
So it sounds like because you're trying to figure stuff out, you are probing. Or no. Yeah, I think it would be analyzed.
Someone's reactions during interaction. You have to learn more about them.
So you're trying to learn more about this guy, or are you trying to learn more about...
I don't care about the guy. It's the thing he's trying to sell
Yeah,
me.
let's do analyze.
I see people constantly here.
What kind of emotional state are you using? Well, what's your disposition about this?
It's very calm and analytical because this is his job. This is what he does. He has to, you know, make sure. Yes. He has to, you know, make sure that he's getting it right, not letting his emotions get in the way.
Okay.
He can't cut people deals all the time. He's aware that he can't just be like, oh, well, this is. I'd say peaceful.
All right, go for it then.
So I got a +2 from that.
2d6 plus 2.
And you have what you have at your disposal. On a 10, S3. On a 7 to 9, S2.
Wouldn't that be a 9?
7 plus 2.
8, 9, yeah.
So you get to
Two.
basically get 2 questions out of me answered.
Okay. Oh.
I think these are example questions. You can kind of do your own.
Could this be tracked back to the company?
No.
No?
No. Probably what'll happen is if they don't have a use for it, they'll just pull it apart for its parts.
How? What's its rough value? It's valuable because it can be used for a lot of things.
and like because the engine's been changed out, it can last a lot longer. So it can be used as like a little spy, or people will sometimes fill it with explosives. It can be even just be sold as like a pet. It has utility, and it has what's the word for something that's superfluous? That's just like a thing people want for wanting it. Novelty. It has novelty value.
So has the tags utility and novelty on it currently?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd like to roll probe then. Or I want to. Sorry, I want to find out if he knows that it's valuable.
All right. Well, how would you analyze that from him? How would you get that out of him?
I guess he's describing. Whis describes things in as analytical and straightforward as possible, not giving like, "Oh, this looks interesting," or it's more like, "Okay, so the paint job, dents. This is what the engine's like." Just as matter of fact, reading it out to him and kind of gauging his reaction.
So
from the way he's talking, it kind of sounds like he might not know what he has on hand.
he's trying to play it up like it's important, but he doesn't really know if it is.
It's a drone that works, and it's been scrubbed. It's like I've got it from a traveler who's coming through from another city.
Yeah. He knows it's a functional robot, so that's
From-
valuable in itself.
From another city?
Yeah, one of the spokes.
Okay, those are just a thing then?
There's hundreds of them.
Alright.
They're like the main city is in the middle, and reaching out from it connected by those transit tubes and roads and stuff are other cities that are just connected to other cities.
I thought they were still just called the city. I thought
It's
everything
the
was the city.
Everything is the city, but it's like another spoke or
Okay.
Alright. He doesn't want to undersell this guy too much, but he kind of wants to lowball the value here. As far as... So, I don't know what a cred is. Would this be worth a cred?
We don't have to put it into terms like that. It's more like just the back and forth between you and him. Like there's not like a lot of stake here for it.
Yeah. Well, I think I can probably give you this much for it. And he just prints it out on one of those receipt things.
Oh yeah, there's like thermal paper everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, look, I could have brought this anywhere else, so I don't know. I could really do with some backup the next time I'm having a trade issue.
That is true. Let's see.
So I could let it go for that, or I could just take it somewhere else. But if I let it go for that, I want preferential treatment next time.
I mean, the longer you hold on to this, it stands out quite a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, but we're all born to die, so what does it matter? Today you, tomorrow me. If I give this off to you guys.
All right, I think I can mark that up a bit more.
All right.
Preferential treatment. We don't give preferential treatment, but we know it gives a good seller when we see one.
I understand.
So,
owe him a favor, basically.
yeah.
That's fair. I think there's like moves based around that. I guess we should check that.
Geary moves?
Yeah, because there's like things based around things. Oh yeah, it's not even a thing you roll.
What is it like?
It's just string.
Would he owe you thing because you gave him a solid?
No, he's asking for preferential treat. He's asking for a favor. Asking for a favor doesn't give Kevin the favor. That's insane. All right, yeah, just mark down Kiri. Mark down that you owe him a favor. This man, Steve.
It's interesting because you owe him the Geary, but really the company owes it to him.
Oh, he's dealing with you.
Yeah.
He's not going to deal with your parents.
More like his parents aren't going to deal with him.
Potato, potato.
Which is not a grain. Plus.
Yeah, we'll move. And we're back. So yeah, the dude hands off the drone to you.
Okay.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm adjusting. And he leaves with his money and the fact that you owe him. A little tool robot is like moving its little tortoise-like legs when it's like, you're holding it and stuff, and the eye on the underside of its shell is just kind of moving around and like dilating.
All right. I'm not exactly a robotics expert, so I'm just gonna kind of put that somewhere where it's not gonna crawl off.
Upside down on a shelf.
Yes.
Eventually,
Give it a little spin.
after about 10 minutes, it stops moving its legs and just kind of goes docile.
It's like, oh, well, this isn't getting me anywhere.
Okay. I'm gonna quickly audit, that exchange. Mark down the time, amount of money, all that.
Yeah, your little cage gets a buzz. Like a guy walks up, like he's like smoking. He hits the buzzer. Those guys are here.
Just gonna reach under the desk and press the button that activates the lift elevator.
Half man and the machine.
Oh, okay. The big elevator. Yeah, the service elevator.
Yeah, it comes up, it opens up, and these two are there.
I'll wheel out my wagon full of parts and things. What? Hello.
Hey, you've brought you've brought a lot. Okay. This presses another button, and this one of the grated gate next to his little cage swings open, so he can walk into the building proper.
Mm-hmm.
The room proper. Okay. What have you got for me?
Ray found a. Do I know what it would be called? Probably. Okay. Ray found an old forklift, and I don't know where he found it, but
Under the building there, where
just points into the
Blocks
distance.
away. Fucking
Yeah.
2 hours that way.
I can see it.
Yeah. Yeah. And we took it apart. This was what was useful in it.
Oh, okay. A lot of this stuff looks kind of frayed. Here, I've got something for you as well. Let me. He kind of makes his way back behind into the office and brings out that beetle thing. Sets it
Oh,
down.
the tortoise. Yeah.
You know what these are. These are Met tools.
Met tools?
Yeah, Met tool. That's what the drones are called.
Okay.
Yeah, he pulls out like a pen and a pad. It's like if you want to take it apart and kind of list what you find. Feel free to take a thing or two if you need it.
Will do. I'll start pulling it apart and just scribbling down and.
There's a hissing sound when you break the rubber seals on the shell and stuff. And yeah, someone's put batteries inside of it and some sort of like solid state motor.
That's pretty cool.
There's a hard drive in there too, like nestled up right under the shell with, and there's like a crash foam that's been sprayed around it.
I guess I'll plug myself into it and see where it was.
Yeah, there's like a little screen you can kind of like get hooked up to your arm to it to kind of make it display.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's running on that same firmware everything runs off of. It's a 128 kilobyte hard drive, more than enough for something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the drive might have been pulled from one of the drones or one of the robots.
Huh.
And yeah, it's pathfinding data. Like it looks like it's been moving around the city and making a map.
Oh, cool.
Are you relaying this information?
Oh, yeah, it's been mapping the city.
Like on the little screen, you can kind of like, splice the wires into his arm. And you can kind of see like it's actually giving you like a 3D wireframe.
That's really valuable. Do you have anything to copy this to?
Do I? Is there something lying around?
There's another hard drive lying
I
around.
could do that for money.
Okay,
You got a hard drive in a basket somewhere. It's
Copy
currently
is
inside a head.
Oh yeah, just peel that out.
Copy all the data over.
Takes a while. It's gonna take like an hour or two.
Yeah. Tell you what, Wes. If you give me the copy of the data, I'll give you my half of the parts here.
Oh, you just want the data? Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that would
That's-
be very useful.
That's fine.
Okay, and then Ray can barter with you for his half of the parts.
Okay. Wiss is just walking around the parts you brought in, just kind of trying to list everything.
A lot of hard steel.
Can be melted down.
And some of the plating they've brought in has been like anodized and like chemically treated.
Is that normal or no?
But it looks like it's been hardened for like
Outside.
heavy industry equipment.
There's constantly new construction and stuff, isn't there, too?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day, all day, buildings are being torn down and put up.
Okay, yeah. He's just listing everything down.
Like one of the prongs from the forklift is here, like one of the lifting bits of it, and like the tip of it, it looks like it's made of like solid brass.
Was there anything else where you found this?
No, there was just rubble in this.
Rubble. I wonder if there's anything underneath. Could be more. Could be more machinery.
You could go back there.
Yeah, that might be. If there's more salvage, this could be profitable. Solid brass.
It's valuable.
Yeah, it's pretty old. The data was pretty old.
What is brass even used for?
Things that you can't use steel, lead, or pig iron for.
Also
Like-
jewelry.
What?
Yeah. Well, brass is-
Cooling, you can probably use it for heat sinks and stuff, circuit boards. It's a pretty okay substitute for gold.
brass is just copper and tin.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
It's also a bit of a luxury item because it can be used for a lot of things, like
and it
Insulation for like wires and stuff.
also tends to keep it shine a little bit better. So, it looks quite pretty.
I was just trying to figure out why it would be on the end of the arm.
To puncture through concrete and stuff.
Yeah.
Where steel might bend under tensile stuff, this is more like a shear hardness.
Cool.
It's like worst case scenario, it'll chip it off or shatter off, but it's like how bullets will have like a tip to them that's harder than the rest of it.
Okay. So we could try figure out where this metal came from. I mean, we have the coordinates where it checked around, so maybe.
Yeah. What part? It was mapping part of the city. Was it the main district of the city, or was it one of the little spokes that it was mapping? Or
It was mapping this spoke, and it looks like it's been in some of the underlevels, like below ground level.
I mean, if we search for an owner, then they'll know we have it, and that's theft.
yeah.
Crime's illegal. That can't happen.
But it is interesting that they're staking out bits and pieces of the city.
I mean, that's what James is doing, mapping the city and figuring out where to go.
Yeah, like if you peel off one of the layers of the shell, the outside of it isn't fully armored. Some parts of it actually have what looks like almost like speakers, but they've been inverted to like pick up sound waves and stuff.
Oh.
It looks like it's being used for like a ultrasound.
Echolocation.
Yeah, like an ultrasound tool.
Interesting. I'll kind of drop rough specs and be like, might want to make one of these one day. Could be useful.
Yeah, the salvager that came in, he said he just found it. Didn't really want to ask more information. That makes
Got
us
it from a
culpable.
traveler.
A traveler.
Tends to be, a friend of a friend gave this to me, sort of.
Totally didn't steal this out of someone's house.
Yeah. That's the scrounger way.
Picturing some like old lady with like paintings of this thing on her wall, like posing with a little bow tie and stuff.
I
Like
just
those
remember,
old dogs that ladies always have their paintings of, but this.
I just remember the turnover of Psychonauts.
None of this.
Duchess.
Speaking of which, have either of you seen Erin? Been expecting her? Yeah.
Yes.
Haven't seen her in a while. Although her help would be probably pretty useful on if we go back to that site where you found the forklift. Could use another set of hands.
Yeah, her augments. Useful for that kind of thing.
Very useful.
Metal detecting.
Just picturing me turning them on, just like flying across the room. Oh fuck.
There's metal over here.
Metal detecting, like the dude from Venture Brothers who's a Blackula hunter. Oh, let me just check. Looks around. Nope, no Blackulas.
Metal spiders.
Oh. you want to just happen to be coming.
That's why I'm fucking waiting for Devin to be like, yeah, you can be here.
I have another thing lined up.
The
Oh,
scene-
okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to swipe to that?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, what are you up to on this day? Like you were getting like scavenging stuff together, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the lobby of your apartment has like a bank of like pay phones, but there's no like the coin slots have been like filled up.
With like filler, or with like there's just a bunch of money shoved up in there.
Robot came by a while ago and filled it with cement.
Oh.
But yeah, there's like maybe 20, 30 of them, and a lot of them have like names on them, like for different apartments, just because it's easier that way. And yours starts ringing when you're walking by.
Pick it up.
Don't pick up the phone. Your ghost says.
Why?
Doesn't say anything more. Just looks over. It's just looking around.
I'm gonna pick up the phone.
No one tells you what to do.
And he's hungrier and hungrier.
Yeah, when you pick up the phone, there's a voice on the line. It's Armitage. Aaron.
Hi.
What are you doing?
Bring some gear. Haven't really decided where I'm gonna bring it yet.
I might have something I need you for. But I need people for it, more than you.
What kind of work is this?
It's the kind of work that matters. You know.
Do we need muscle? Do we need tech expertise?
Do you have people you trust?
I'm going to say yes.
Those kind of people.
Alright.
If we wanted mercenaries, we could pay mercenaries.
Is the underlying out of character, is the underlying implication here that I'm gonna wipe some of my gear Otim away?
You can say. Looks like he's asking you to do stuff for him.
That's what it sounds like then.
Could be, or it could be one step along the path of wiping away your debt. There's a whole roll involved. If it goes badly for you, you end up owing him more.
Oh, okay.
Oh my.
Alright, where should we meet?
The club. End of the day. When the shift change happens.
Without knowing more, I don't really know if I know people that I can trust for it.
You know these guys.
Alright.
They have like this whole complicated web of relationships with and shit.
Okay.
They owe you, so therefore you can trust them.
Yeah, but I mean, this guy's a terrorist.
He's
You guys
a
like the
resistance
silly.
fighter.
Yes, but that's not how the people that like the city are going to react.
I mean, I'm pretty.
I don't know if you've ever heard me say I like the city.
Just say that, humanity.
Like, here I go killing again.
Fair?
Humanity is a disease that needs to be, fixed.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily know that.
You're like,
that
humanity's
he
a
thinks that.
disease.
Yeah.
How? I don't know. Let's look at this entire city we built. Ever hear of those mythical things called insects?
Alright.
That's it. You shouldn't have picked up the phone.
Why not?
You're not going to like what's going to happen next.
Wouldn't be surprised, but I thought you might.
Punch. That's it.
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna go to them.
Alright. So, after that brief vignette, cuts back to you guys. You get a buzz.
Hello?
Hey, boss.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, that's good. The, sticky girl's here.
Oh. Send her up.
Yeah.
I was like, is it because I know?
Send down the most towelettes first.
He he
Jammy fingers all over everything.
She comes in and just touches everything.
well, she's a thief and she has magnets.
That's fair.
The
Yes.
sticky girl.
The magnetic personality.
You're buzzed up on one of the elevators.
Yeah, it just leads right up to that room.
That
so
workshop
people,
floor.
so people don't get to wander everywhere.
Yeah, it was basically like an office building, like an office room that's been cleared out of like bowls and stuff, and like people have like saws and stuff, and they're hacking their way through metal and shit. It's a chop shop in an office building.
Hey,
Hey,
are you guys still here?
Yep.
Yeah, everyone is here
Yeah,
now.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm taking apart that little turtle still, and
we have some projects on the way here.
I have some stuff for you.
Oh, okay.
I'll print out my bag of stuff that I stole yesterday.
Oh, perfect.
I don't remember what you said it was.
Screen parts.
Right.
Okay.
So like there's some shatterproof glass, kind of turns into like bendable plastic when you break it, and there's like like magnet parts and tubes and like RGB projectors and stuff. She's clearly smashed up a city screen and taken it.
Any barcodes or identifying numbers, even if they're not real?
All over everything. Everything has stuff printed on it.
Each part is numbered.
Yeah. Wiz takes out his scraper and starts going to town on that. Perfect.
Perfect.
So, have someone that needs a favor.
Someone.
Yeah, friend of mine. I don't know if you want to talk about it here.
No, probably not. There's a tunnel near the house. They serve really good chicken. We could go there.
Alright.
Just let me. Wiz just quickly finishes up with the notes. Kind of buzzes in his replacement.
Little kid, about 7. He kind of runs in. He has a little suit and jacket on that's a little too big for him. He has an eye patch.
Why is everyone smoking?
Everyone is smoking.
Because business is cheap and
God
plentiful.
damn, what is it with you and kids having addictions?
Hey, boss.
Hey, Wiz pulls a pack
I'm
of
sorry.
cigarettes.
I'm sorry. Hey, boss.
I was gonna say.
Hey, here. Wiz pulls a pack of cigarettes out of his pocket and just kind of slips it over.
Johnny likes this.
Hey, I'll be out for a bit. I don't know how long, but just
Johnny's got you covered, boss.
that's
He
it.
flashes you a black-toothed grin.
We got some porcelain on the way. It's all good.
Yeah, there's toilets everywhere. They smash them up for it.
Yep. Nice new teeth. Ignore the smell.
I use glass. I want one to be out of glass breakers.
Huh? Well, we've got a fair bit of glass in right now.
No. You take the old hot rods. They have this thing inside their engines. It's it like lights up the fuel. It ignites it. Spark plug. All right, it's made of a thing. If you smash it up, you get these little rocks, and if you throw them at glass, it shatters it instantly. Even the screens.
I know exactly
It's
what you're
super
talking
fun.
about.
That's a real thing in real life. If you take a spark plug and smash up the material it's made out of, it'll instantly shatter all glass.
Weird.
Yeah.
Like, even if you just, touch it?
If you throw it even kind of gently, it'll destroy like any type of glass. It's really bad.
Cool.
Even carrying broken spark plug stuff on you is intent.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Good to know, because it's also way quieter than throwing something else through glass. So yeah.
Yeah, so he gets a little stool out of the chair and kind of, it's like a booster seat basically made of bent over broken chair bits, and he gets up behind the counter and gets out the little adding machine.
All right, let's
Empties your ashtray out to the garbage. Next!
Wiz checks the levels of his air supply and then heads out with you guys. It's employment.
You're probably strong. You're really good with tech.
Nebulous magical powers.
It's magical.
And you don't care if you die, so.
He has connections.
I mean, I guess.
He also doesn't use his fucking walking through doors thing, like, just willy-nilly, because it makes him bleed from the fucking everything, so...
Yeah, so it's like,
From
I'm bringing you on a thing. Your job is
Need is
lookout?
Need is a strong word. We need a doorstop, but a brick will do.
Marty.
Alright, yeah, there's a tunnel that has a, kind of like it's been collapsed inward. It's like an old kind of concrete tunnel that's been smashed open, and there's a space inside that has like people going in and out. There's like benches made of like twisted frames from like collapsed towers, like old girders and stuff. Stools, wheel wells that have been turned into seating areas. There's a campfire that has like an old the rims from a car that's been like hollowed out and like stuff's been thrown in. It's been set on fire, so the flames like blue and green and orange. They've thrown like copper and like tubing from a car from like an engine in it and stuff. So like all the residual chemicals are making it multicolored, and they're openly cooking food over it and eating it, using like the lead like rods and stuff for like the meat and whatever.
Nice toxic
So I'm presuming
place.
there's no doctors.
There's doctors everywhere. It's a great profession.
I mean, how else would you be
Probably,
amputating stuff?
You
They're
know,
more barbers than doctors.
Yeah.
I mean, you need someone to plug those, cybernetics into you.
That's not a doctor. That's a.
That's a
mechanist.
mechanic.
I said mechanist, but yes.
They're probably roughly the same profession at this point.
You can say,
Fucking barbers.
go to a barber. He'll pop that tooth right out.
Pop the tooth, put the eye, plug a new one.
So yeah, Whis orders, chicken from a place down here, and just
Yeah, dude has like some like knives he's made out of like old scrap metal and stuff that have been like it has that kind of Damascus pattern to it because it's been like chemically treated and shit. So he like chops it up, makes noodles out of like the different kind of legume stuff or whatever. They've used molten metal to kind of make like patterned molds and stuff. And he serves up basically a noodle bowl. It's basically ramen.
basically, in everything but taste and color and smell.
It's pretty alright. You add a bit of clarified oil and what passes for salt. Salt's an amazing thing for flavor.
True.
Spiced up with a bit of unleaded, you're good to go.
How does anyone live past 10? How are we not extinct?
Like, average age is probably like 40.
I mean, most people live to like 50 or 60.
Yeah, that's what average age of death is probably like 40.
Yeah, we have gone full on Middle Ages here.
What the shit, people?
Child mortality.
You start getting tumors, you're just like, I'll just cut that off. It's okay.
At least we don't have leeches.
The water's probably treated.
Yeah, I can imagine that much at least.
Chlorine.
So yeah, you guys get some noodle bowls.
Yep. So, what's this job?
Don't know yet. Basically just wanted to know if I had people I could trust. She looks around at you guys. She's doing this visioning, by the way. She doesn't really ever sit still.
This is just nodding. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. They want us to They want us to meet him at the club. Is there a name or is it just called the club?
There's a club that people go to and they call it the club.
Okay.
It's the one that has that designation because it's the one everyone thinks of.
They didn't specify the favor, did they?
They did not. I asked if they needed muscle or if they needed tech expertise. They just said people we trusted is more important than either of that.
And going to meet them is not a guarantee that we're actually going to do the favor, right?
I mean, I'm probably locked in at this point.
Yes.
Looking at Devin for the answer to that question.
You won't know. Implications might have been had, but you won't know till you hear from him.
I can't guess whether I'm locking them in by telling them to come here.
I mean, what are they going to do? What are the Risses going to do? Hold a gun to their head? You know what Wiss's family has? More people, more guns, more lead pipes.
Much.
The resistance doesn't do much by trying to strong arm people. That's not a successful way to do something. You want to get a lot of people on your side. But, not so much that the city shuts you down.
I have my jamming on, by the way. I figured this would be a time to use jamming.
Sure, that works.
No.
Okay, so when do we meet?
Night.
Okay.
Okay.
So do you want to do the other thing first?
All right.
Right, he found, well,
Yeah, take it away.
No?
Do you go by Heath, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I found a forklift in an old demolished building in the scrap, and apparently it has some very valuable parts.
Nice.
So there might be some more.
Nice.
I'm thinking if we can pull up some of the rebel or rubble, we might be able to find more forklifts or find more construction equipment.
That just sounds so bad. I figured if we could pull up some more rebel, it's like I mean, I'm not totally stamping down on the resistance.
Well, it's because you were talking about rebels a minute ago, and so my mind was like, rebels. It's the same word, right?
Yeah, we take this out.
Yeah, if we can pull up the rubble, there might be some more machinery, maybe some useful parts.
Forklift operational.
No. But there was some good parts in it.
All right. You're probably strong. Looking to Ray.
Yep.
All right, let's go then. I guess.
Okay.
Let's go.
So you're going to go scavenging?
Yep.
All right. So, yeah, you're going to head back to that site. I guess what, you guys can all train?
Yeah,
Yep.
probably.
Time passes. You guys are now all together in a group, and yeah, a lot of people on those big lev tracks in those compartments. 50, 60 people. They've started like a small kind of garbage can fire, and they're warming their hands and cooking on it. This place, lots of places in the city are thick with smoke.
So I basically just gave him some free stuff, which I'm kind of being like,
Well, you probably traded.
that's probably why
credit.
you're gonna help me with this. Because I didn't ask
Probably.
you, so that was that implication.
I mean, hey, I traded that for you, whatever. So probably have some credits or whatever.
No, like I just said. We didn't discuss that. I just said the thing that I wanted.
Yeah. When the compartment that you guys are going to get on to move to the next place comes up, it opens up and it's completely empty. There are in fact one or two of those just man-shaped machines inside, and they have old kind of push brooms and mops and are cleaning blood off of the floor plating.
I'll walk in and just kind of avoid the bloody spots.
And the two of them kind of lift their heads and move it, look directly at you.
I'll lift up my head to show the barcode.
There's a clicking sound you all hear inside your heads from the veil overlay, and they kind of just turn away and go back to their work.
I'll just kind of move off to the side so I'm out of the way of the blood area, so I'm not gonna disrupt
There's
them.
a jacket on the ground. It has a bunch of holes in it.
It's a common thing here.
Oh God. He's just looking at that and
I'm probably visibly fidgeting more than before.
Yeah, they kind of give you all a look over.
All of us.
Wiz turns and kind of peels his hood back so he can show off the neck tattoo.
Yeah, you hear the click.
Oh, is that actually what they're wanting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they just kind of go back to it. They go back to cleaning up the murder scene.
Yep.
And they take all the equipment after. When it gets to your stop, they get off with you and take the broom and the clothing and the little buckets they have, and they just toss it into the fire and keep on walking. People were cooking around it and talking around. They just kind of walk away. They get away.
Yeah, I'm gonna not have them walk behind me at any point.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And they just move on down the stairs with you onto the street and go in opposite directions.
Some people probably notice is that lots of times Erin will kind of look behind her to the right.
Oh,
Okay.
You probably know why I'm doing that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I gotta remember to introduce the object and what it does more. I'm just trying to get a handle on kind of everything. It'll feature more as we go along. Just getting a handle on it. Oh shit! Yeah, and your beliefs and stuff. Okay, so the building that you guys were originally scavenging that forklift from, it's a collapsed brick and mortar building. It's fairly old, probably like at least 100 years, like a forklift. It has bricks and like rebar running through it. It's been collapsed down. Nothing's been built on top of it.
Nothing has been built on top of it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like it was just demolished and never curated.
Well, Whisk goes over and just sits on a big piece of rubble and makes no moves to actually move any of the.
James is gonna just pop his arm off and just basically kind of put it down. It's just gonna start crawling away and like going into the rubble and just start looking for things and pulling pieces out.
All right, can you see through it?
I have the detachable and the remote tag on it.
So you can control it remotely.
So I can control it remotely. I cannot see through it, no. But it knows, I assume whether or not I can directly see or whether I can just kind of program it to pick things up that I consider useful.
Okay.
So it's just, picking up a few random things here and there. And I might as well use,
Yeah, it helps you search.
yeah, I'll use scrounge. And I'll scrounge again to try and find 2 hydraulic presses.
Yeah, and you get +1 forward on top of this because you're using it as a remote search tool.
Yeah.
So yeah, hey, let's give that a try. So roll plus Omni tool +1.
And I'll be in a peaceful state. We're just kind of hanging out here. We're not doing anything. Like, he's not overly excited about this job,
Alright.
but it's not. Yeah, he's just kind of, it's another day at work sort of thing, right? So I get +4? Yeah. Nice.
11. Oh,
So,
that's a lot.
Perfect. So I get +1. I get some primo stuff. Take +1.
Forward on
the
a junkware roll.
So I get I guess my hand kind of crawls out with 2 really nice looking hydraulic presses.
It pulls out a large humanoid-looking arm made of machinery.
Ooh, nice. Nice.
Did someone get crushed?
It's made out of what looks like steel and what's that really good metal? Platinum, I think.
Yeah.
No, not platinum. What's that? Titanium.
Titanium. Ooh.
That's the one I'm talking about. So yeah, it's made out of titanium, and it looks like it's been fairly purified, and it has like very obvious pipes and hydraulics on it and articulation. 6 fingers. It's all squared, like all of the different joints and movements on it have a square design and very sharp, non-worn down edges. Yeah, your hand just kind of pulls it out. It looks like it'd be made for a man that's about 7.5 feet tall.
Ooh. I'll take my hand and pop it back on, and I'll look at it, and I'll start looking at my other arm, looking at it, looking at my other arm. I'm like, yeah, not bad. I'm definitely getting excited. Like, James is visibly starting to kind of shake a little bit, like just.
It has a yellow and black kind of bumblebee patterning to it.
Ooh.
Kind of like the little net tools that go around construction areas.
Okay.
Construction arm.
Yeah.
It has markings on it that looks like have been cut off because it's been like severed from whatever it's attached to, and just the word system is on it.
So same word as the forklift had.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'm going to very excitedly use junkware on it. Hopefully.
Oh, you're gonna sit down and start doing some.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna start tinkering with this immediately. Like I've completely lost interest in you guys. Like you visibly see James just turn away from you and start tinkering with this. Like he has no idea what's going on in the world around him, other
Alright.
than what's in
This is
front
a
of him.
roll plus Omni tool plus a forward. What emotion are you gonna use?
Definitely joyful because I'm
This is
very
a
excited.
fairly rare find.
Like-
you don't find titanium
Yeah.
in this quantity usually.
yeah no this is very exciting. So we're gonna do the +1 from going forward. So it's gonna be another +4 here.
Oh, man, don't fuck up.
7 + 4 is 10, or no,
So-
11.
So on a 10 plus, you get to choose 2 of the
Yes.
options below.
Plus, because my Omni Tool's primary function is upgrading cybernetics, I get an additional tag
Jeez.
There you go.
whenever I make. So I get 2 of these plus an additional tag. So I'm definitely going to take the create a cyber implant with 1 tag. So I'm going to get 2 tags from it.
Okay.
And then the second one, I'm not sure what does harm to me. Is that a ongoing thing, or just a like when I implant it does harm, and so like the rest of the day I'm injured, or because the negative tags have damaging to you as a negative tag. So I feel like does harm to you
Could mean either. Really.
could mean either really.
I think you take harm.
Yeah, but
I-
you could either take
like-
harm once, or you can take harm when you're using it.
Ongoing.
Maybe
Because having a negative tag for cybernetics can be that it does damage to you when
should
you
we
use it.
check the expanded playbook for
sure.
the catabolist?
Here, I'll pause. Actually, I'll upload this file. And we're back. So, just to recap, Ian rolled high on his make cyberware roll. So he has chosen to add 2 tags to it and to take a harm.
The
But
harm.
the cyberware does not have a negative tag.
Yeah.
Cyberware has the tag of industrial, which is used basically if it's going to be an industrial tool,
Yeah, I can
and-
lift heavy things. It's,
that kind of stuff. And the other one was durable.
Because it's titanium.
So we'll move over to Ian.
So James is sitting there, and you guys are probably, working a little bit. Wiz is just, as Kevin described, sitting probably.
Now that he knows that there's someone or something buried under the rubble, he's actually actively kind of looking and seeing like, oh god, is that a human?
As you guys are digging, James is sitting there looking it over, checking this thing out, and then all of a sudden you just hear this kind of noise. And if you look over, he's sawing off his right arm.
Gleefully.
Like just huge smile on his face, not a single tear, just like ecstatic. He looks completely psychotic. And yeah, no, he just saws off his arm, takes that arm, and just starts like shoving it up against, pulls out some wire from his pocket, and just starts like sewing it up with wire. And
I'm
then
not a cybernetics expert, but even I know that's not how that works.
and then suddenly the arm just starts moving, and like he's like flexing it as he's sewing it up. He finishes sewing it up, and he's just like, you can see him shudder a little bit, like it obviously was painful, and he's just like, there we go. Walks over to you guys and just starts picking up big boulders out of the rubble and moving them aside with this arm.
There's a low hum from the arm as in stages, like nearest to the stump. Small like capacitor lights start like clicking on, going all the way up. Like under the joints, lights are coming out from under it, like yellow construction like lights. So where the joints and seams are, there's like light coming out of it.
Whis is freaking out.
Whoa!
He just chucked.
He just totally
Isn't that-
discarded his arm, by the way. He didn't even like blink. He just put it down and walked away.
You could have at least had yourself put under. Why would you just do that?
No.
That's gonna get infected. Oh my god, what are you doing?
I'm the greatest cybernetics master. It'll be fine.
He's in shock.
How are you even awake right now? You just sawed off. There's blood
There's blood
everywhere.
everywhere.
You're using a circular saw. There's blood everywhere.
Oh my god.
Sprayed up onto the wall, left lines on
All
things.
over us.
Yeah, there's a bit of a splatter.
If the police come here, they're gonna think we murdered someone. Oh my god.
What's the police?
They don't
The
care.
Robo Police. What are they called? Is it just robots at random will punish citizens?
Robots.
If the robots come here, they'll think we murdered someone.
Oh, I'll just start digging a hole with the arm and put my old arm in the hole and like bury it.
Let's just kind of gesture friendly at all the blood everywhere.
Well,
There's even like a camera on the inside of the palm under some like shatterproof plating, and it's moving around.
I'm using jamming. It's okay.
It's not connected to anything.
Yeah,
I can't
exactly.
fucking take either of you to this fucking resistance meeting I'm going to. Jesus.
It's great, guys. There might be some more useful stuff
You
down
can trust
there.
him. He's crazy.
Oh god.
I can do some cybernetics for you guys if you find any good parts.
No, I'm good.
Also, well, really, like, started when noticed the spark in James' eye. Probably like turned his head towards the one still working, so like an owl, facing backwards while cleaning the rubble.
Whis actually has to go somewhere to be sick for a while.
That's fair.
Because otherwise he's going to puke into his breath mask, and that's not...
Oh,
That's fair.
You don't have to go anywhere to be sick. You're always sick.
He has to go somewhere to puke his cancerous guts up.
You have yourself a trouble. Anyone go after Whis?
yeah. I'll make sure he's okay.
He's throwing up in a fucking alleyway.
Literally black.
It smells like copper in here.
No, I was like engage with James.
Yeah. Just moving rubble.
It's really easy to move that rubble.
Oh yeah.
The fingers, if you line them up, they lock into place and become kind of like a scoop almost. And the fingers actually have like basically really hardened tipped hooks to like grab onto rubble and peel it away.
Nice. Yeah, no, just keep digging.
Alright, this is going by fast now.
How does it feel, James?
Oh, the new arm? It feels great. Like, I mean, the stump's a little tingly still, but
How did the process feel?
invigorating. I'm more powerful. I can check this arm out. It's incredible.
It has an eye on it, so maybe it has some memory inside of it.
I don't know. I can't tell. Everything's got an eye on it in the city.
Stranger if it didn't.
Yeah. Maybe there's more stuff. This is a good spot. Thank you, Ray. This was an amazing find.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. So since James was all emotional and happy, can I use my operative special again?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, 5. Nothing. No.
I'm just not good at feeling things.
Nah. That's something.
No, wouldn't you get 7 because you're in a piece
No,
of...
this doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't
No.
take anything? Oh, that's unfortunate.
Are you,
Didn't that hurt? No, I took some gazebos.
Some gazebos?
Oh, you didn't see the new It movie.
Oh.
It's too good.
are you gonna be okay, buddy?
How does someone just do that to themselves? Did
I
you
have
see
no
the look on
idea.
his
That
face?
was nuts. He was smiling way too much. You shouldn't be smiling at all in that situation, and he just had this like wacky ass grin.
That's kind of a big decision, just replacing an arm, and he just...
Yeah, he like I said, he didn't have any anesthetics. He just cut off an arm on a whim with no anesthetics, or like he wasn't even high at the time. I'm assuming. I mean, he might have been high. That might actually explain a lot of that.
Like, we're in the middle of a collapsed junkyard. That's infection territory. That's...
Yeah. Also, why is it working? Like, that's not how he just sewed a robot arm onto him and it started working?
You have to calibrate that stuff. You have to...
Attach it to, like, the human bits and, like... What?
I mean, I've seen... Oh, God, I shouldn't say this. No, never mind. No. Because this is seeing him work with the zombie tool. That's kind of privileged information. So it's like... That's probably the same emotion he had then, too. Like,
Yeah, no, when he first, like, when Whis first gave him, like, the parts for the Omni tool.
and helped him build it, yeah.
And helped him build it. That was probably, like, he probably took a hacksaw to his arm and just...
Suppressed that, and that brought it all back. It's like,
That's fair. That's fair.
just
Like that's not. Is that what your vomit always looks like?
What?
Is that what your vomit always looks like?
Oh. Yeah.
It's like steaming and evaporating.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'm just having flashes to that thing.
No, it's fine. It'll go away. It's he just kind of wipes some of it from his nose and his mouth. I'm fine.
You want a breath mint?
Yeah. He just kind of kicks dirt over the puddle on the floor. They're gonna get worried. I think we should go back.
Yeah.
Would this trigger your
That's what I was
special
gonna
moves?
ask.
Yeah. Because your object might get jealous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're having a moment with this person.
Yeah, we're both having.
And you
moments.
probably will be getting a hold because you shared some intimate moments.
I get a hold, which means I don't get more cancer after this.
You did it!
Yay!
You expanded your life.
So I roll. Do I? 1 second.
Yep, roll plus your object's hunger.
Do you use an emotion?
Yep. It doesn't say not to, so yes.
No.
Okay.
What's the emotion that was happening in this scene, Nicole?
Scared?
Yeah, scared more than anything.
So do that,
But,
plus hunger.
My scared is 0, so it doesn't actually give me anything. But you mark off a box for that.
That's
right?
right.
Should we use an emotion that you have in the negatives?
Hmm?
No, because like most of the time you want it to be high.
Yeah, but it's not what you want, it's what it was.
I'm not
Yeah.
feeling peaceful right now.
It's not about what you want, it's about what it was.
So plus my object's hunger, which is 2. 5. Yeah, so 10.
So you get -1 forward, which means the next roll gets a -1, and you take -1 ongoing, which means every roll is -1 until the object believes it was no big deal.
So you have -1 on your next roll.
Oh wow. Because it's gonna try to fuck me, I guess.
Well, you just do now.
Huh.
You just do.
Weird.
And
Way to convince jealousy.
Yeah?
yeah, the specter or whatever just points at you two while you two are talking. Like it's not even near you. It's like maybe 10 paces away. It's just pointing and doing that. Pod people screech the whole time.
Jesus.
Which doesn't even notice, but
Yeah.
you're probably
the lights
acting
above you are flickering.
Is that you or me?
This might be James.
It's probably just a brownout.
Just 1 second, I'm just trying to see if it does anything to do with its hunger, but no.
At least knows you have something following you too.
Does he?
I forgot about that. That's I know what you're like when the attached isn't near you, which would seem to imply that I know that you have something.
Not necessarily, because the other geared questions say that they know that.
That's
meaning
true,
that you
so
probably wouldn't.
he just
so
knows that you
basically,
get sick sometimes, too.
Sometimes.
She has bad
Sometimes
times.
you turn into Bilbo when he wants the ring in the first Lord of the Rings movie.
Like sometimes I have basically like an asthma attack and I can't breathe and I feel really like weak.
So maybe she's also sick in some other way.
Yeah. Sick in the head, physically sick, actually sick, robot.
I'm fine.
So yeah,
What do you mean sick in the head?
-1 ongoing
Yup.
until I
It's
can
making
convince
that sound.
until I can convince my object that it wasn't a big deal. It didn't mean anything.
I love you more.
Just because we looked at the same vomit. Okay.
So yeah, after Whisk cleaned himself up, I guess we go and join the rest of the group back at the rubble.
When you guys get back, there is there's like a homeless woman, or not a homeless woman, but like a disheveled woman. She's kind of just hanging around now. And when you guys are like not paying attention to her because you've moved on to a different part of the rubble, her and like another guy are like digging up your arm,
That's fair.
and they're taking it.
That's fair. I mean, that's. I'm just gonna like watch them leave with it. Like I don't even care.
Whisk watches you watching them, and he's like, "Aren't you gonna?"
I don't see the point in. This arm is much better.
But that's your arm. You were born with that.
Oh my god, you have no arms! I didn't say this is not in character.
Oh, this is like a
I was gonna say, this isn't in character! Jesus Christ!
looks a little bit puzzled about what's going on, but then I guess connects that with the scene where you guys were eating in the bar. Like, oh, I guess they're eating those squishy bits. Can I take Abyss Stairs back for this roll? Like, oh, roll humanity. Like, oh, I said to understand. Like, oh, people sometimes need to scavenge for stuff, and sometimes they eat each other.
They might not necessarily be eating it. They might actually.
I'm assuming they're eating it.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck else are you gonna do with an arm? There's nothing else you can do with it,
A really funny ventriloquist show.
right? Like,
Yeah.
Like,
When
if
you
I-
interact with something new in an attempt to understand humanity and what your place may be in it, how would you say this would reflect something new about humanity and your place within it?
I
Just
mean,
watching people
I
take.
guess there's scavenging each other just like I'm scavenging the robots outside. So that's sort of connecting.
And, like,
out
you
the-
do have robot parts in you. That's what your cyberware is.
Yeah, but so I'm doing that all the time. Though I'm going out scavenging more of my kind, and they're just doing the same.
Yeah, all right, I'll give it to you.
So peaceful because that's my only emotion.
Your only emotion.
3, 5. No, I have nothing.
Oof, nothing.
Like, yeah, you've had judgment. That would be perfect for it.
Mr. Judgy.
Humanity at its worst.
Okay. All right, so you guys all come back.
yeah. My
Oh.
character is visibly distracted. Yeah. Like she keeps like almost like flinching, and looking over, like, oh my god.
Yeah, the specter or whatever, as you guys are like finishing the rubble out, it's doing that kind of high pitched like router screeching at you, but it's also saying you deserve what's coming next.
Jesus Lord.
Jesus.
You're not gonna try and calm it down?
I mean, I can't do it in front of you guys.
It's fair.
After you cleared the rubble away from this collapsed part of the building, there is the shredded frame of a large robot. It's about 7 feet tall, made of titanium, painted orange and black, has that same kind of blank face the other robots have, but it's a little bit bigger. Its eyes have like yellow, like construction light eyes instead of the white. Like the glasses, the shatterproof glass also has like grating over it. And yeah, it's mostly been like mulched up. It's like its torso's been torn open. The machinery inside's long since rotted away. Everything about it's been just ripped up. It looks like something skewered it.
So I guess hard drive is gone.
Oh no, it's in the head. If you want to go on in there.
Sure. Look.
All right, so you like open up its neck and like reach your hand in, and yeah, there's a motherboard in the head case. And it's like cracked in half, and the drive platters have crashed into each other. There's a lot of melting scarring on the inside of it. Looks like it has like a large kind of battery, and it's clearly burst open.
Okay.
The metal's worth something, though. If we can drag it back to Wiz's place, I'm sure.
Does this look like your normal sort of robot that's around the city?
You haven't really seen something like this before, not in your experience.
Were there older models that were like more unique?
Yeah, the city doesn't really. The city's hard to pin down with the machines it makes. The machines aren't made on an assembly line. Like, it's something you know if you interact with them long enough in the salvage business. No two met tools are the same. No two robots are the same on the inside. Like the way screws are positioned, or the material used for the rubber, or the way that like wires are lined up, or how a motherboard's printed. Every single one is different.
Interesting.
So like two robot parts aren't interchangeable with each other like they came off an assembly line. Like the Henry Ford means of mass production isn't at play here.
Which implies that they're not mass produced.
They're mass produced, but not in like an identical assembly line that has like tooling involved. Tooling being the process where everything is the same one after another.
But outside, like appearance-wise, usually they're all pretty uniform, aren't they?
Yeah.
But this one looks.
It's bigger, made
Yeah.
of a different material, and it's clearly not one of the robots that walks around town.
Very unique, yeah.
Yeah, no, the metal alone should be worth quite a bit.
It also, I mean, it got in a fight with a forklift.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
It has a tag on its back, like the rest of the wording's there.
Hmm.
It looks like if its arms were out like this, it would spell from one arm across the back to the other arm. And the rest of the wording's there.
What does it say?
It says, along the back, Geological Unmanned Terraforming System.
Yes.
Guts for short.
Interesting.
You're
Yeah.
fucking Mega Man!
Did you just catch that?
Yes? Like, you actually take the parts from them and put them into you to upgrade yourself. You're the thing. But you were, a people first.
Yep.
Cool.
So I'm noticing that this it's kind of like you. You're unique. Nothing looks like you. Nothing looks like this.
Well, I think it's been an old model because the records from the forklift says that it hasn't been around for like 100 years, so maybe it's a discontinued model.
Is it more or less advanced than the ones we see around town?
I mean, advanced is a matter of perspective.
It's different.
The ones around town are fairly disposable. Like, if they break, like the metal isn't a high quality metal. The parts inside, rot fairly quickly.
I guess we'd like,
This thing has lasted 100 years exposed to the elements under rubble.
check its processor speed and the RAM and how much.
Yeah, if you're looking at the chipset on the motherboard,
Yeah.
a lot of it's rotted, but I don't know, if you work with James, you might be able to jerry-rig it to like a breadboard and maybe boot up the firmware.
It's more like checking out the numbers there.
Oh, the size.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you jerry-rig it to a breadboard,
Yeah, we might boot it. I'm sure I have a little bag of parts and things that keep on me.
Or maybe just go to your
Yeah,
workshop.
or
you got shit on you. You don't have to.
Sure.
yeah.
This isn't fucking D&D. You don't have to say that you got a bunch of bullshit on you.
I mean, my Omni tool is an Omni tool.
Yeah. Why don't you roll analyze?
Analyze?
Yeah. So there's 2d6 plus emotion. Oh, cool. When you act on the answers given to you by the MC, you get +1 forward.
That's cool.
Oh man, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So he got the +1 forward on negotiating with the guy, for
Yeah.
example.
Look at that.
Which
Good to
cancels
know.
out the minus forward, I guess.
Yeah, look at that. You're good to go.
Fantastic.
No, but you have to act on the information provided to you. So, like for bartering, you knew the information about the part you were bartering,
And I acted on it by bartering with the
Yeah.
guy. So
or
But anyway, let's get back to this.
so I rolled 11, so I can ask 3.
Okay, you can ask 3 questions for me. It doesn't have to be from that list.
So, like, what were the specs of this thing?
Much lower than yours.
Yeah.
Higher than the normal bots around town?
No.
No.
Even more basic. Like, no autonomy.
Okay.
So that's, wait, what'd you got? You got 11?
Yep.
So that means you get 3 questions.
Yep.
Alright, so you get 2 more.
Like, what was its purpose? I guess.
Mining.
Mm-hmm.
Which is something you don't hear a lot about because a lot of the mines in the immediate area of the city have long since been exhausted.
Ask it if it has. See if it has a map of the mine, like where. I'm assuming you're saying, you're like, oh hey guys, it's a mining,
Yeah.
machine. So James will say, ask it or see if it has a map of the mines or of where it used to travel from.
Yeah, sure.
It does not.
Okay.
But you could ask something else. Get like an actual.
Where was it made? In which of the spokes?
It was made in the original city. It also shows all the markings of tooling.
So it was mass
Huh. Okay.
This, unlike everything else, was part of a mass production line. Like even there, you even see that it's actually part of a batch.
Yeah.
It was like it's like It's a number out of like 100 made at the same time.
Did you roll any successes?
For
Analyze.
analyze?
I think it's like one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I assume
Sure.
there would be one.
Okay.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna wander off.
Okay.
And talk to yourself.
Yeah, basically. Gonna wander off to not where they're around. Turn to the thing, which I don't know, the ghost. I don't know.
The ghost.
I don't think I have a conceptual name for
The
it.
people.
You need to calm down. It's really distracting when you're screaming like that.
You've lost sight. You're going to die.
Why am I gonna die?
You'll see.
No, you gotta tell me. You gotta tell
You've
me.
gotten too close. You're too deep.
Because I talked to what's his name? Wiss?
You're gonna catch it from him.
Is that a thing? Am I actually going to catch it from him?
That's what happens when you get too close to someone.
I mean, listen, we were just freaking out over James cutting off his arm. Like, anyone would freak out over that. It's not a thing. But seriously, am I gonna die?
Everyone dies eventually.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you keep alluding to something that's gonna happen later today.
You'll see. Then you'll know.
Come on. Come on, you got it.
You hear cooking, like oil frying, and you smell.
Is there anything around?
You there's a light on like one floor up, like you're on the main like the ground level. One floor up, there's a light on in a window. Like the window's open. You should get something to eat. It says, looking up at the window. It's going to spend its hold and it wants you to get something to eat.
Weird. Why?
You know, to make sure you're eating well and all. Ghost Dad.
What are you going to do?
Do you want your experience the -1 hunger? You got the quest marker.
I'm trying to decide if that's something I care about.
I mean, you probably know that if your object goes too hungry.
I don't give a fuck about the mechanics. I give a fuck about I'm eating another human being.
Mm.
A part of my friend that literally just cut off his own arm. I mean, he doesn't
Oh,
care
was
about
that what's actually with Frank?
That's what's going down here.
Oh.
So it's like,
See?
I mean, he doesn't even care about his own arm.
You
So, like,
did survive
Honestly,
and
I
shut down
probably
city.
would have eaten it. Like, if someone was frying it, my character wouldn't. He's like, why not?
I go to waste.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like, have I eaten people before?
Have you?
I mean, like,
Where would you have gotten food from before? Yeah, teeth soup.
will it calm you down?
It doesn't confirm or deny that so much as it just kind of looks up at the window like it's focusing on that now and not pointing and screaming at you. Which it was doing that entire time you were talking to it. Except it was right up in your face.
Jesus. I'm gonna climb the building.
Okay?
I'm assuming it's metal. I want to climb the building.
Yeah, they're it's those two people. They're cooking it up. It's already been like, staked out.
decide if I'm going to scare them away. I think we would just jump in the window.
Okay,
I'm assuming
look,
it's open.
yeah, there's no glass.
Okay.
They look at you.
Kind of like nod over to it.
They have like sheets of metal from like aluminum siding that they're eating off of and using like chopsticks, essentially like aerial antennas from a car and like other things to like eat.
Hey,
Uh,
give me some of that.
I would gesture at the walk they have.
Alright. I'm gonna take some.
You have a meal.
Yeah, have a meal. Sit down and have
Wow,
a
mark
meal.
XP and -1 hunger.
Alright.
You eat people.
I sit down at a meal. How do I... Oh, here.
Perfect.
Good at it.
Kind of like going back to my roots kind of thing, I guess is what it's trying to say.
Yep. All right. So you guys finished.
No, I have a
with-
question.
Okay.
Do I still have -1 whatever?
No, she's fucking
Okay.
mollifying
Just,
it.
just wanted to see.
You did it.
Okay. I also have hit speaks, by the way.
And you seek direction. Well, you didn't seek direction.
No, I know. I'm just letting you know for future reference.
Okay. See ya. That's that. You guys are gonna meet back up, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll,
We're done excavating here. There's nothing else.
Yeah, we'll
is there
drag.
anything around here useful?
Not really.
Would you like some building material from this rubble?
I'm
Bricks.
gonna take some,
It's made of what the ground is
Rick,
made of.
more
before they
time.
No, I meant
fixed
in
it.
this place where I'm eating.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna, like, take breath mint.
You don't get to have pork that often, but today you did.
Real food, I mean.
It's real food. It is real. This is real food.
Real homemade.
Like it definitely didn't come from a vat.
Locally grown.
Yeah.
Organic.
Alright. I'm gonna come back a different way.
Sure.
So yeah, while you guys were investigating this thing's brain.
That's fair.
Alright, let me just... And we're back. So, you guys are done here?
I think so. We'll drag this thing back to Wiz's place.
It's like over 7 feet tall.
I now have a big arm.
I'm just gonna. Oh, if you want. Otherwise, I was just gonna use some credit to pay yourself and you can to carry it over. Not that like these limbs aren't gonna be useful for anyone.
No, but the metal is very useful.
Yeah, that's true. Just
Yeah,
I
no.
wonder if there's anything else in there, in the rubble there. I'm gonna kind of look behind me when I say that. Hinting at it that I wanted to see if there's anything else in the rubble there.
There is nothing here.
feels almost ashamed to take this thing apart. It's kind of an antique.
Yeah.
I mean, we could try to repair it, and then
We
Yeah.
could try.
Yeah.
Did it actually go look, or
Yes.
Okay.
We could try.
Yeah, I'd say let's not scrap this yet. Let's.
Okay. Well, we'll drag it back. My place is closer than your place, anyway. So
It is super close.
we'll
That's-
drag it back to my place.
That's true, and if my parents or anyone found out about this, they would be questioning why I haven't melted down for slag. So let's not do that.
Okay. Well, I'll drag it back to. Yep. My little hideout.
Alright, you drop it off.
Aaron is not really looking at Wits right now. Is probably looking at James more than usual.
it's
Yeah,
still
that's an
leaving
awesome
an
new
arm.
arm. He's honestly like, if you're staring at him, he probably just thinks you're checking out his new arm, and he's all like,
Yeah.
peacocky, like.
Aaron's like,
Yeah.
I wonder what his legs taste like.
Probably more meaty or like more like tough because you use your legs more than your arms.
I mean,
Although-
not in this city.
Hmm. He does work with his arms a lot, actually. That's what his main thing is.
Well, if he's scavenging, then whatever he's carrying, that's mostly his legs. Okay. So I guess we'll go and meet with Armicide.
Armicide.
Armitage.
Armicide.
Read a fucking book, Peter.
That's your name now, Armicide. You just demolished that arm. Every time he gets like a nick or a cut now, it's like, oh, that looks like it might get infected. I guess you better amputate.
Oh no.
But he doesn't have arms now. He has 2 fake arms now.
Well, your other arm is only at the elbow.
Yeah, it's elbow down. And then this one's the full.
That's several pounds of meat that just fell up with freezing.
Oh.
I mean, they didn't even crack the marrow open. I mean...
Well, save that for later.
Those monsters.
right?
So wasteful.
Marrow soup, you know,
They're
later.
gonna use the bones for soup.
He's terrible.
They have oil. They're gonna make pig's knuckles out of the knuckles.
Oh.
Kevin just passed right out.
Okay, moving on so we don't
What's up
lose
with your
Kevin.
eye?
Eyes twitching.
He cannot even. The club. It is a old kind of speakeasy like setup. Like it has like a stage with lights and stuff and a microphone, but that's long been like torn up and replaced with metal and like better stuff. There's bar seats and it's been turned into like kind of a more modern rock club, but it was clearly something a little more classy back in the day. Yeah, hard cut to that. When you four come on in, Armitage is sitting at a table at the bar, like off by the bar, and he is nursing a bottle of Metul fluid. Armitage is a man. Do you want to know? Do you know what he looks like, or do you want me to tell you what he looks like?
I was picturing a kind of older man with like salt and pepper gray hair and a beard, like short beard.
Yeah. He has like a military crew cut, and he wears like looks like a flight jacket, and like jeans and stuff. And has a sidearm under his jacket that he's clearly wearing. It's a revolver, large caliber. It doesn't have 6 rounds in it. It has 3 that rotates. His right arm is clearly a like machine arm that he's had hacked off and replaced his. Has extra fingers on it.
Just like James. High five.
Hey,
Aaron?
Armitage. This is Wes,
Hi.
James, and Ray.
Greetings.
I brought a machine?
I did. He's not like the others, you can probably
Who
tell.
owns it? Is this the rich ones?
Just because he has fancy arms. Actually, you're probably pretty kind of well known.
Fancy arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Armitage makes weapons. He knows what what Cohen model cyberware looks like.
I don't think. I mean, she's kind of like looking to Ray to answer that question.
Oh, it's my cue. No, I don't think I'm owned by anyone.
So you programmed it to be stupid?
He's his own robot.
It has AI.
Alright, so you're playing... It has 2 eyes.
No.
I don't
Artificial
think.
intelligence. It is
Yes,
developed.
so does the motorcycle I drive. It's called street mapping.
AI isn't really a term.
Fair enough. Maybe my character's trying to coin it. I don't know. It's developed its own semi-personality.
Well, that's impossible.
Well, talk to it and
You
find out.
programmed it to play pretend, I got
Okay.
What you need to know is it won't turn on you.
it. Yeah, you probably put in safeguards. I'm assuming if you're walking around with Cohen cyberware, you have enough sense and money to do that. Put a goddamn leash on it. He knows what a leash is. People don't know what dogs are.
I mean, you can
Well, they
put
probably
at
know
least-
the word dog.
Yeah.
Because it's probably an insult.
They know the words, just they don't
Yeah.
have a direct connection to it.
That's fair.
So, you're here to do some work for the Resistance?
Just visibly cringes.
Just kind of tilts his head.
I mean, I owe you, right? So.
You haven't found your internal courage and mortal fortitude?
God, this again. That's right. Just tell us what you want us to do.
What about you guys?
What about it?
He says, not looking at Ray, obviously, looking at James and Aaron.
I'm Aaron.
James and Wiss.
What about us?
Do you want to do something for someone? Do you want to make a difference?
I would.
I'm doing something for Aaron.
Do you want to do something for everyone?
I don't think I have enough cyberware.
It really depends on what it is. What are we getting into here?
Project some of our people have stumbled into that might make things a little bit easier for everyone in the city. Oh yeah, there's eyes everywhere.
I was looking.
Object.
This is my emotion too. I'm looking at my ghost.
Smiling.
Charity's not illegal.
Like almost loud. Like
Yeah.
smiling not that this is great, smiling that it knows it knows the punchline and you don't know it.
Wiss is right.
So what's the catch? Besides obvious legal issues.
He like goes into his coat and pulls out a circuit board. We pulled this off of a drone that came from a trader. It's really old, but it looks like it's been like refurbished and like put together from a breadboard.
Mhm.
The machines all have instructions cooked into the chips. Then that's how they coordinate with each other and talk to each other and act. You know, the kind of things that make one of those man walkers clean up a street, clean up a trash on a street, or just cave in some kid's face for looking at it wrong. The instructions on this are old. Really old.
Alright.
Are they different from?
Yep. Different than every other set we've ever seen.
In what way?
Legacy code. Like from the man in the tower.
Interesting. James is definitely more interested here.
It has it's a thing called prime directives. And these prime directives are instructions for how it interacts with people. Whereas the city just runs on automatic, this is like legacy code that tells it to take orders from people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Any orders from anyone?
It makes it, it's like it's a servant.
Hmm.
Like machine serving man. We think it's like a buggy. We think it might be a bug or something, or just a failed version of the whatever was put into the chipsets for the rest of the machines.
Interesting. So when you say legacy, like, so what do you want us to do? How do we do this? What do you want? How do we?
We caught up with the trader after we found out what we had, and we convinced him to tell us who he got it from, and we were able to track him over the course of about a month ago. And he got this from an old workshop, and the workshop was at the time when he got it under security. I never asked how he got it out. We think he might have worked for it. But this workshop had it was a building that had like walls that had like a circle door on it with like pistons coming out of it, and there were lots of shelves inside,
Like a vault?
something like that. It was the way he described the building didn't make any sense. Like it didn't serve. It wasn't like any other normal workshop.
Hmm.
It had like paperwork in it that didn't mean anything.
circle with pistons. Weird.
Yeah, it had like a steering wheel on the front.
What? Okay, it sounds like a crazy person built this building, but okay.
That sounds like a vault door, like one of those.
Out of character, we know what it is.
Yeah.
In character, we don't.
Well, I'm in a sheriff station, so I'm sure they have a...
Yeah, they actually have a safe.
Yeah, so I know what it... Yeah.
Oy vey.
They should have done some weird car with steering wheel and piston engine.
It could be, but I doubt it. It sounds like the thing like a larger version of the thing I have in my workshop.
Yeah, he said that when he worked there, he would like hide from his job and try to get into the door, and he did one day, and there was like a bunch of stuff in there, and this was one of them. It was pieces of an old robot,
Huh.
and he said there was a computer in there, like not like a terminal or like a view screen computer, like an old computer, like one you program on.
Oh.
It had the man in the tower symbol on it.
Huh.
Like it might have been one of his workstations.
Ooh.
Where the hell was this?
It was in District 0011-11100. That's a dead district. Cut off.
Ah.
Your ghost is laughing at you now.
Ah. Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Alright,
Told you you'd get what's coming to you.
come on, man.
If this is a programming computer, then, and if this legacy code came from it, then the source code's on it. And if the source code's on it, we can change it and redistribute it.
Interesting.
That could help a lot of people. We could program.
Like he shows the circuit board, like one of the chips has a hole in it with like a little bit of glass. It was like there's some of the boards have this little hole in it, and if you flash a laser in there, it lets you change what's on it.
If we could reprogram the robots to take orders from us,
Even just to work with humanity.
or even just to work with us.
Yeah, if we had the source code, we could get the light signal. We could flash all of the BIOSes, and they would just go back to this old legacy code where they apparently just took orders.
Think about the cybernetics we could get from them. Just directly from the robots. No more scavenging.
I think it's one of the guys thinks it's a personal project the man in the tower made to have personal servants, so we could just change them all to be personal servants. Because
So,
later versions of
makes
the BIOS have a different form of order taking baked into it that isn't so open ended. Like he cleaned it up.
Mm-hmm.
How are we gonna, I mean, you can't live there.
You don't have to live there, you just have to go in and out of there.
Looking over to, Wiss's air tank.
I mean, I've got a few spares at home. They don't hold that much oxygen, though. Depending on how long this took, where we'd have to go. I mean, one of us would be fine.
It's pretty corrosive there. Not even the robots stay.
Oh, wow. Alright, good. We should, I guess we should all go then. In my character's mind, she was like, I don't want to trust the robot to go do this mission. That might wipe all robot brains to make them subservient. How about we don't send the robot to be the only person to do that?
Yeah.
Do you think we could get our hands on some hazard suits? We could look around, probably.
That'd be a good idea.
Where would we find such things?
Are there, like... What power is the city? Like, is it
Coal.
Nuclear power.
Nobody knows. Nuclear. What's nuclear?
All right. This is... Are
The,
there any?
the city has furnaces and smokestacks and factories and metal refineries that pour smoke into the air.
And giant, you know,
There are no rivers, there are no dams, there are no oceans.
And humans don't really work the really, really hazardous jobs that would require them to wear
Why would they?
Humans don't really work in this city.
They work some jobs. Like some people just get assigned jobs.
Yeah.
Like the guy that they got the information from. But for the most part, people are very hands off on how the city runs.
Yeah.
Are there air purification machines or anything like that? Like, how does
Giant towers that, use fans and purifiers and filters to filter out the air.
They don't want people to have that kind of ability to do it on their
Yeah.
own.
What about tunnels? Would there be airtight tunnels underneath? Anywhere we could go where the air wouldn't be so corrosive? If we can get in and out through buildings, tunnels.
The district is days away on foot. The train the train tunnel retracted when it got cut off.
There's no way underground unless there's maintenance tunnels.
You can take the white line. Roads.
You have a
there were some motorcycles in your garage.
Yeah.
You were working there.
That doesn't solve the air problem, though, is the issue. If
if we just cover ourselves up real good, like how long can you stay? I probably know better than anybody.
Depends on how we prepare, depends on how bad it is there. You got out before it got pretty bad, but this thing's been shut down for probably like a decade.
Are there antitoxin meds, like, available?
Yeah, you could ask around to people.
Yeah.
You have to you have to knock on some doors and get some, call in some markers and find some people that might be able to equip you.
Throw some creds around.
Alright. That sounds like it's the only option we really have. We should definitely cover ourselves as best as possible as well.
Yeah.
Air.
Plastic clothing might keep a lot of it off.
Yeah. Sounds like that's the best option. This is definitely something I'm interested in.
Me too. Anything connected to the man in the tower.
If we paint you with a lacquer, you might be able to get in and out quite easily, at least. You'll probably have the least trouble out of us. Even if it peels off after.
Yeah.
Fair, actually, yeah.
It's your joints that we'd have to be most worried about. If those start corroding.
Well, probably wrap me up in some plastic. That should be fine.
Yeah. Lacquer and then plastic. Okay. So it sounds like we need to prepare for this.
Yeah. We have air, we have, assuming we can get those,
Plastic covers.
Some kind of
And meds.
clothing. and
motorcycles.
Yeah, some form of transportation.
Yeah.
What if the motorcycles corrode? If those break down, we're in trouble.
Well, what else option do we have? The only other option is walking. So that sounds like it's the best option.
Yeah.
They probably want to roll that quickly. Like, it's not going to melt an entire motorcycle right
You
away.
probably want to put some filters on the air intake. Because they're not from the inside. Or gunk up.
What if we covered the motorcycles in some way?
Just lacquer them up the same way as Ray.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I think the tires probably have the biggest problem out of the entire machine.
Mm-hmm.
Take some industrial tires.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and take care of the meds we might need. I'll pull some strings, see if we can get a lot of antitoxins, things like that, things that can prepare us.
Awesome.
We're gonna need rations.
I can probably get that.
I'll fix up the motorcycles and I'll take 2 motorcycles for us.
Yeah. Are you gonna fit? How big is your robot?
Humanoid shape, so.
Humanoid shape. Okay.
Humanoid shape and size, and like
Yeah.
you probably weigh quite a bit, but not enough to kill a motorcycle, probably.
Not that different from a normal person. Even the normal robots don't weigh that much.
I have a creative idea.
Yeah, they're lightweight.
Yeah, I have a creative idea. I think that might work, especially given the parts we found earlier today.
Okay, that's smart. Yeah.
You want to hold it out?
Possibly.
Wear it.
I'm picturing you like putting a bubble around the motorcycle and like a bench seat between them. You're like, look, it's a new kind of vehicle. It's like
That's
you made a
liter-
car.
That's literally what I'm thinking. Is like just welding titanium rods between 2 motorcycles, welding a frame over it, and being
Sometimes
like,
there's shit in the roads, though.
yeah, but if I make a titanium wedge, like a plow, in front of the 2 motorcycles, it can.
Christ.
That's literally what my character's thinking, and then he's like, because then we can put a wagon on the back, and we can tow more things, and my character's just like, this titanium is gonna be so good.
So you're gonna take the job?
Yes.
Good.
This sounds like it could really improve things for everyone.
It's a game changer. We need the whole computer.
Okay, we'll have to
Oh.
bring storage.
How big is it?
I don't know.
Oh.
But we need all of it. The circuit board is probably custom made for it.
We'll bring a wagon. We can tow it on the back.
Yes, as I was saying, I think I might have an idea of how to fix up 2 motorcycles to tow something.
Also, back I go and bring some large hard drive.
Hmm.
I could probably copy it.
No, but we need the whole thing. We need the chipset, the motherboard, the everything. It's a programming computer. All of it works together.
So,
Like some of the chips on there are used. Some of the chips are used for programming.
Okay.
We need all of it to program to burn new BIOSes.
how do you do geary things?
What's up? Like, what do you mean?
I think it'd be after the job is done, wouldn't it?
I have no idea.
Like specifically, what are you asking?
This dick, I owe a bunch of shit.
She's trying to see if she paid it off by taking
Well,
this
maybe
job.
you'll see at the end of the
That's
job.
why I
Yeah.
asked.
But it sounds like you guys are gonna take a look at this,
Yeah.
into it, see what you can do.
Mhm.
I think that's a good point to end it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that was a nice start to the.
I guess I know end with the blisters back. Well, I'll say my position to humanity. Say, oh.
So let's go down the belief list. Wes.
Yep.
Humanity is precious. Was that challenged or changed or anything?
He was
I'd say it was challenged,
challenged.
but not changed.
Definitely challenged.
Just how casually he threw away a part of his humanity.
And just let
Fuck
someone
that
else
shit.
take it when they were clearly going to eat it.
Yeah,
Like-
with no care.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Is it definitely challenged?
I don't think it got me in trouble though. So
It did not get you in trouble. I'm trying to find the beliefs thing.
I think it's right in the front of the.
If a belief is tested this session, mark 1 XP. If a belief gets you in trouble this session, mark 2 XP.
And it's resolved Mark 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so refuse to kill another sentient being. That didn't matter.
nope.
Those in control need to understand humanity is suffering. I don't think that...
It wasn't challenged, but doing this whole thing is kind of setting off the start of that, I guess. Which is
Yeah.
one of the things.
Alright. Aaron, Created life is predisposed to be harmful to humanity.
That was not challenged. It was, if anything, reinforced.
Does reinforcing count?
No. Reinforcing doesn't do anything. I'm just saying it was more reinforced than anything because those asshole. Actually, maybe because we just found out that they actually have this code in them that's supposed to specifically make them servants. But I'd say more after
Like an original code.
Yeah.
Which,
So-
does that make sense to you? Does that fit into your worldview?
It's really weird. It kind of challenges the belief that it's like a natural thing that they're going to be bad. And it's more just something went wrong.
Or the man in the tower is the reason why they're all bad. 'Cause
Yeah.
everything in the city is based off of his programming.
Yeah.
Everything is.
They were originally supposed to be benevolent and helpful, and then he did something to make them bad. So yeah, I'd say that was kind of challenged.
Alright, mark an XP. Powerful people profit off the suffering of the less fortunate.
Yeah, no, his parents didn't really do anything dickish.
They never even showed up.
Yeah, and like even like your organization as a whole didn't do anything dickish this episode. And we never interact with any other powerful people, so that didn't really come up.
And what's your third one? How do you phrase it?
I phrase it as resistance is futile. It will never result in any real change. Which straight up, this is real change. If we can do that, this fucking changes everything. So yes, that was challenged.
Mark an XP. Ray. Humanity is a disease that needs to be fixed with cybernetics.
Well, someone did fix the thing with cybernetics, and other people were quite opposed to it. So
Is that challenged though? I mean, he did exactly what he said he was going to do.
Yeah, but other people showed
Yeah.
that that's not a normal
Yeah,
thing.
that's
Other
not
people
what
were
normal
like,
people do.
"What the fuck?"
you cut off your own arm. That's so weird.
Yeah.
It's like not that everybody believes in it. Oh yeah, that's totally normal. That, you would chop off your arm if you found a better one. So I guess it was a little challenged. It wasn't like changed or anything.
Maybe. The next one definitely was, though humanity is precious. He totally challenged the shit out of that.
Yes.
I would mark that one down.
Okay.
What about the city is helping the people, but they just don't see it?
Well, that guy believes that we need to change the robots and reprogram them to serve us better.
They used to be programmed to be helpful, and then they were specifically changed to not be helpful. So that actually is challenging that belief,
Yeah.
Only if he believes that they're not being helpful right now.
I suppose.
Yeah, only if he sees the state as now as a fail state.
Well, I guess I would say that that guy didn't see that the city is helping them. I guess.
Alright, if you think that's it, then yeah, mark it off. James, all humans need cybernetics.
I'd say
That was never challenged.
it was never challenged, but it might have got me into trouble this session.
Did it?
A little bit. I mean, them two were
How
kind
much
of...
do you consider? Yeah, what exactly
Yeah,
is trouble?
That wasn't trouble.
Fair enough. Then
There's nothing bad that's going to happen because of that from
That's
them.
fair. Then that's
Okay.
fine.
The man in the tower is secret technology.
He does.
He definitely
I
does.
just picked
so-
things that were true.
Yeah.
And I'm the best cybernetics manufacturer. Again, not challenged.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
And I did fail one time, so I got 1 XP from failure.
It sucks.
So mark
You
down
just
your
picked a bunch of
XP
true
for-
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did. When I failed it.
Alright, well that's all the beliefs for this
Oh,
session.
wait, right. The man tower does, so it wasn't challenged.
Yeah,
So
no.
it's yeah.
I picked a bunch of true things. I'm the greatest. I sawed off my arm and just literally took copper wire and sewed up this new arm.
Yeah. It's like that. What the fuck?
I think probably encountering someone like Sandra Cohen would probably be.
Yeah.
Do I?
Yeah, Senator Cohen is gonna tell you to go fuck yourself.
Or if Wes just snaps one day and is like, "What are you doing?"
Which doesn't really snap.
Fair enough.
Do we get to roll for the abyss stares back after the guy basically put me in the place? Oh, you're a robot. You must be owned by someone. It's like, oh, that's
he also said that you weren't sapient and they programmed you to be
Sapient?
sapient.
yeah.
To pretend to think that you
Sentient?
were basically.
Either. They're both are real words.
Sentient is like
Fucking Google
real
it, Faith.
being alive in your brain. Sapience is, you're not really alive, but you're more than an animal.
I've never heard of
It's not something that comes up usually.
Yeah,
'Cause
no,
people
I was
don't usually
gonna
think
say.
ingredients.
Yeah.
It's usually they're either not or they are.
So.
Yeah, rolled it, failed it, nothing.
Oh, okay, you failed it. You fucked it. Alright.
We have 3 XP for this session.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, no, he totally dismisses the idea that you're intelligent. He's just like, no, they programmed you, dummy.
Yeah.
I want a robot friend that thinks he's a people. It's like robots aren't people.
Yep.
People are people.
It's so cute. He thinks he's people.
And then, like this guy's like, what if I replace my brain with a robot? Then you've just put a robot into a zombie.
Right?
It's not a person.
If I only had the judgment move, I'd be so judgy.
Mr. Judgy. Alright, well, that's it for Beliefs and XP, and that is episode 1, where there are a few places where I could have probably brought Beliefs up more, but, you know, we're just getting acclimated to the system and all how it all works.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
That went really well.
good. You guys, new experience for us all?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We
Alright.
barely rolled anything.
Yeah, that's
You
kind of
rolled
what the
more than
game's like.
anything.
We rolled
Yeah,
a
but
bunch
my
of dice.
character's designed to roll
Mhm.
a lot, I think.
Yeah.
I think there are parts where I could have made you roll more instead of just giving you answers, but learning curve.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we'll wrap here. So I was Devin,
Nicole?
Kevin?
Peter?
Ian.
and this is sponsored by Nobody, signing off.